How you doing?
It's amazing when money comes.
How you doing?
It's amazing when money comes
Hanging in
around the
there.
corner.
What's confusing?
How women
Excuse
snap.
me.
Tri-
Oh, I don't understand what that means.
Huh?
Triangulation?
Yeah.
Oh, it's when you put two people against each other.
Oh, okay. That's. I mean, okay. I guess I don't understand what the phrase triangulation of younger women and older women. Doesn't that require a third thing
Yeah, who do you
in
think
the equation?
who do you think triangulating younger women against older women is vice versa?
Oh, okay. The okay. So somehow the man is in that equation of the triangle. Because I'm looking at the word triangulation, and that's like three, right? So the younger woman, the older woman, and the man.
Yeah, so yeah, men pin younger women, older women against each other.
Oh, okay. They put older women and younger women against each other. I see.
Do you think that's valid?
I don't know
Oh,
if it's exactly true, but I mean,
Sarah come home
so,
with surprise.
I've been married twice. My first wife was younger than me. My
You don't like
current wife
Sarah?
is older than me. So,
No, that's not what I'm saying. Um, it's a little bit more to it.
okay. I guess I just don't quite understand. Do you mind if I just sit and listen and
So
try
we live
to?
under a no, because I'm just getting started. It's fine. So we under a patriarchy, and in the patriarchy, essentially, younger women and older women are put against each other, so that it can't be collaboration. So that essentially, older women are supposed to feel like that younger women are some type of challenge to them or a threat, and younger
I
women gotta
see.
feel like older women don't want them to be able to exercise their full autonomy or like to experience things. So like it's instead of like the idea that men are in the core of this, the essentially putting both groups against each other, it become a one side versus another.
Who's gonna
It's a
sit in the
false
seat
strategy.
till they
Um,
find us someone?
in okay, like I said, might not fully understand, but wouldn't it be up to the person to decide, yes, I do want to go up against that person, or no, I don't want to go up against that person?
So you thinking on the individual level? I'm talking about the collective.
Oh,
It's a
okay. But I
it's a
mean, the
collective
collective is made
in
of
general,
individuals.
huh?
The collective is made of individuals.
You said native.
Yeah, I mean, the collective is comprised of individuals.
Yeah,
There
but
is a collective, but
yeah, but I'm saying it's not just a. I mean, it happens on the individual level, but I'm talking about society and it as a whole does it.
okay, society. So like
Like
men
the
and
standard,
women
yeah,
do
like the
that.
standard of beauty for women is associated with a woman's youth. So like a woman
Okay,
who is young and beautiful feels like women who give criticism might be trying to challenge them, and a woman getting older feel like the message is like somehow she's less than a woman or not valuable.
I guess I'm guessing because
I mean, I'm
I
sure in
don't
some
I
way in
don't
your
feed
life
into
you reinforced it.
because
I mean, I'm sure in some
I
way in
don't
your
feed
life
into.
you reinforced it.
I mean, because my philosophy is like, for instance, personality isn't stored in the mammary glands. So I mean,
Wouldn't
things like
Sarah
that.
like this?
In the
I'm sure
mammary
that her husband
gland.
will go on that
Yeah, I was
train
saying
and be right
personality
behind
isn't
them both.
stored there. So I mean, a lot of men like
It wouldn't
a big
make me
busted
sad.
woman.
You're a
Um,
YC man.
Would it
excuse
you?
me?
You're a white man.
No,
What's your race?
I don't think it's relevant. But on my driver's license, it says black.
I don't think it's relevant in all your driver's license.
I mean, color doesn't have anything to do with personality either,
You sound like
or
a white man
character.
when you talking.
I don't know what to say about that.
Yeah, that's weird. I'm supposed to say you're a black man if you're a black man.
I think
I
Sarah
can
could
turn my
tell
camera on
you.
if you like.
Yeah, go ahead, cam up.
Okay, I'll turn my camera on. Here I am.
Yeah.
Oh, you put
Awesome.
me on the big screen.
Yeah, we want to see what you look like. Why didn't you say you was black? Why you say your driver's license?
Yeah, my driver's license says I'm black.
I'm gonna wait a second, see if
I'm
I
saying,
go
why do you just say I'm a
digital.
black man?
Everything's spinning out.
I don't think I fully understood your question.
I'm saying, why do you just say I'm a black man?
I don't feed into the race thing because it doesn't tell you anything about the person.
Here, can you take him off?
Oh Lord. Okay.
I mean, can you name one thing that
I'll come back
Um,
in my safety.
knowing that I'm a black man, can you tell anything about me because of the fact that I'm black?
Oh, most definitely. You're anti-blackness.
I just tell him
Is that
we
the
have
case
for
with all
breakfast.
black people?
Yeah,
How is that?
all black people are anti-black,
I guess I don't understand what anti-black is.
which is crazy. So you don't have a strong racial identity.
I don't really look at race. I mean, I see it, but it's like I said, it doesn't really tell you anything other than what a person looks like.
But it
Table
definitely
tells
tells
you that.
it's a cultural thing. If
They
you are
tell you
Oreo,
like
son, just
one,
say that.
like
Like I don't
me,
understand.
you.
Like to say that like race don't have an impact on your views on things, or like your culture is crazy.
I mean, like
It's given you want
I
to be able
travel
to
all around the
assimilate.
country, and my experience is that I get back the same positivity that I put
Hold on,
out,
hold on.
regardless of race.
You travel all around the country
Yes,
and
I'm
you
an
never
over-the-road truck
experienced
driver.
racism? You never experienced racism?
I mean, there's bad people out there. I mean, that's
No, no, no,
just
no, 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 no.
humans.
I'm being very specific. Have you ever experienced
What I get
racism?
so far?
I have.
Hey, Gigi. But that's gonna have a
What
so
I
your
get so far?
experience, you experiencing
Okay.
racism
Is
is something that's going to shape your
order
perspective of the
in the morning.
world.
I mean, I don't experience it from everybody. It's just, very small minority of people.
Who,
You,
like a man.
I don't know. You don't want to see the
Muscular
point.
build of a man and everything. So,
I guess that's
father
kind of true.
told
I
her
try
she
to look for the
couldn't
good in
leave the
people.
house.
So, I mean, sometimes, because
I
if
don't
somebody
understand.
does,
What are you trying to do right now? So, all
if
right.
if somebody
And
has
she
something
said
negative
she
that they're
kept
thinking about me, that
everything that
doesn't
could go
affect me
wrong with
because
it
that's their
never
thoughts.
went.
It's
No, no,
their
no, no. I'm
problem.
not
And
talking
she
about
had
the way.
all the
No, no, no,
symptoms
no. I'm talking
again.
about you being
I'm
in
sorry,
danger,
they
sir.
missed one.
Being in what?
So then she gets
You could
on
be in
with
danger. What are you
me.
talking about? It could be a
And
life
she
or
said,
unalive
"You're the big
situation.
nurse. Should I go or not?"
I'm sorry,
I
I
said, "I
didn't
don't know.
catch
If you
what you
wait
Your
said.
an
My
hour,
wife
background
I
is,
loud as
said."
hell.
huh?
And
Your
I said,
background
"My
loud as hell.
sister and
I think
brother,
you just want
my
to be able to assimilate, sir.
brother-in-law is here.
I
So I
want to be
gotta
what?
put groceries
You
away."
just want to be able to assimilate.
I said, "Call the JF clinic or call the
Just
cancer
like
center. They'll tell you."
harmony between people.
He said, "I'm sorry." He said, "I'm sorry. I snapped at you." I said, "You
No, you
did?"
don't.
Okay, what do I want from people?
So if I'm like,
He's
hey,
going
come
to
hang out.
mom.
We over here. We blackity blackity black. We all black over
Hmm.
here. We super black.
Uh huh.
You want
Yeah,
to harm me with the blackity black people?
I'll hang with anybody
I can't
you
do
know,
this with
that'll let me.
Why?
Like I said,
Wow.
the color doesn't matter. The fact that you want to hang out with me, that's cool. I love to hang out with people.
What race is your wife?
My first one or second one?
Both of them.
My first one was black. My
Uh
second
huh.
one is white.
Yeah, that check out. Now I know why you acting like that.
What did Phil want?
I've acted like this when I was married to my first wife as well.
The
So I mean,
car?
there's no
Let's
change
go back.
there.
No. We gotta go back 20 years and talk to that nigga. Nah. But I can see why you talking the way you talking. It makes sense now.
I've always talked like this. So
I listen. Maybe that's why the first
I
one left.
remember one or
she
two
didn't
times
leave
about
me. She passed
changing
away.
gear
All right,
because of
shit
the snow.
happened.
And at one
Excuse
time
me?
I told you, "Don't wreck my new car."
Your
I didn't
background loud as
understand.
hell. Is that your wife or your mama?
That's That's my
Grandma.
wife in the background.
Ask Grandma if Phil won a new
She's
car
kind of
yesterday.
delirious at the moment. She's got terminal cancer.
He said he was too
I'm
tired
sorry
And
you
she's
running around
kind
to
of
going
remember.
through that. You gonna stick beside that white woman. I see it. That's cool.
but I mean, color had nothing to do with my relationship choice.
You tell that shit to somebody else, sir.
I mean, you can believe what you want, but I mean, I know the truth.
I mean, it if it smell like a duck and it quack like a duck, it's a damn duck, sir.
Okay.
The
But
only
all
thing
right,
all that would
we
do
talking
would
about
be hurt her.
triangulation. Best of luck to y'all. I'm gonna
No,
Thank
drop
you.
you down. Look, yeah, mom. I don't know what the hell going on, but he ain't want to say that shit for a reason. What's up, Mia?
I had to laugh all the way up on the panel because what the he compassion he triangulated us against that lady. I know what it feel like to be triangulated against. I know when a nigga fishing for a black woman sympathy. I ain't stupid.
He's sitting. He's
Mm-mm.
sticking
But
beside her. He's sticking beside her. I should have asked if he stuck beside his first one. Shit. But what you think about this topic, man? Because he got me all off topic.
can you hear me? Cause I don't know why my phone saying one bar.
I do say one bar, but I can hear you.
Oh, I don't know what's going on. But anyway, cause I'm sitting in the same spot. But yeah, I do believe that triangulation between women happens, and I think that like without it being a full or a full thought out thought, right? Just me just pew pewing from the hip. When I think about the way patriarchy operates in this idea that women's value is only in their ability to give birth and perform a certain type of femininity for men, I could definitely see how um, triangulating older women against us could be a thing. And what I mean by that is that making older women feel like when they get 35, and it is like 35. 35 is when your ass is old, and I even think
I'm
what
a
they
senior
call.
citizen.
Yeah, me too. 35 is old, and I think they call it geriatric pregnancy if you do get pregnant. So, anywho, like having that sense of like that gloom over you as a human, like thinking that all my value over you as a human, like thinking that all my value is this, and at this age, I am no longer valuable, and that type of stress will cause you to behave a certain way, right? With that being said, it has young women believing that they need to have their children, they need to get a husband, they need to do all these things because when they get 35, ain't nobody gonna want them. And the best thing for them to do is be married because at least they could be partner off. At least they could be partner off. And when you think about the older women, if they feel if I'm 30, if I'm 39 and I'm supposed to be this I hit the wall, I'm outdated, I'm no longer worthy, I'm going to be jealous of this threat of a younger woman taking my husband, and that's going to cause you to do what? That's going to cause you to compete and mistreat who? Younger women. So again, I think it's so many moving parts, but I don't know. I just think when I think about this, I think about the patriarchy. I don't know, Tara. I don't know how you explain it, but that's how my brain goes. I'm just thinking of it working that way, where you have these two groups of women, younger adult women and older adult women, basically competing with each other, trying to have some value with the man.
Well,
I
that's
don't
what
know.
to me it would have to be patriarchy because here's the thing. Let's go by what the men say, right? Cause women are fucking nurturing and they love the kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
At what point, like, instead of older women still being nurturing towards younger women, right? What would cause them to something to glitch in their fucking mind and that don't be a thing, uh, unless you tell her that she's no longer valuable and that this younger woman is her competition.
Yeah. So, but like, how is that dangerous, right? So, like, what makes that dangerous here? What
No,
makes it dangerous to
well,
for older, particularly older women? Why is it a problem? What is the end result for older women to be having this disdain for younger women based on feeling less valuable?
So the angle I was coming at when I thought about it wasn't necessarily what makes it more dangerous, but what is it disrupting? What would the world look like if older women still had that nurturing, caring spirit that they claim we have for younger women, and there was a mutual level of respect and collaboration? What would the world look like, and how would it be different? Because I think that's the danger these niggas is afraid of. Because the danger now is that now you're separated and now you are feeling insecure about yourself and now you like trying to overcompensate and you giving up more to keep this man. You fucking allowing yourself to be a footstool because like Lord, he out here looking at these younger women. I gotta try to stay young as long as possible. And for a younger woman, it's like, oh, this woman here is she saying these things because she hating on me because I can get her man and she don't want me to take him. Like that's all it is. It's like two groups that literally would be able to collaborate and help each other out because I forgot who sent me that video about the fact that women do hit what is it called? Goddamn menopause, right? But even at the menopause, you got decades to live, and essentially, like women talk. So all the knowledge you've gotten over the years, you would essentially share that with younger women. But if you're in competition with them, it's going to fuck you up, and it's going to fuck the younger generation up to the point where now the younger women they don't trust older women like that. And you can't get through to them unless it's a man saying it. It's literally divide and conquer.
Yeah, and I agree, but I guess I'm just looking at it like that's where like the real deviant behaviors happen, right? Like this idea of older women also perpetuating this narrative that younger women are hot, they fast, that they are coming in to destroy, that they are loose, that they are 304s, you know, not believing them, not protecting them, not giving them advice, not covering them, and all that is true what you're saying. If this wasn't on the table, then that's all what would be happening. It wouldn't be, we would literally be moving away from it. The wisdom when they talk about women vetting, the wisdom that older women will be able to give younger women if younger women didn't feel would protect the younger generation from falling into certain traps with men if it is such a thing, right? They need us to men if it is such a thing, right? They need us to be on edge, right? But they also need older women to feel less valued so that they can have access to them too. Because how many older women so that they can have access to them too? Because how many older women are in relationships with men doing all kind of things to supplement the value that they feel like they lack because they aren't as young or they've been married before, you know, whatever, right? It don't even necessarily have to do anything with fertility because there are some older women who are doing all of these things because yeah, you still can have a baby, but you used up even though you was married for maybe you was married for 20 years from the time that you was 20 to 40, but you still used up. So I just think it's a lot of games. Like if we really like broke it down, it's so many different angles. But to simplify it, it is about the patriarchy. Like that's what makes it simple. But I do think it's interesting to look at the different angles.
Yeah, and I think also it's interesting how like being an older woman and like you think about your grandmother, like ain't nothing, no problems with your grandmother and the things she doing. She could be the matriarch of the family, whatever y'all say, blah blah blah. But like let her criticize men then. Then it's like, oh, you just bitter. You didn't do it right. Your generation was
Mm-hmm.
different. You know what I'm saying? And it's like Also, when you talk about the dangerous thing, yeah, of a younger girl, Mr. Charles looking at that young girl instead of protecting her, you calling her fast. And yeah, you're not providing protection anymore. Matter of fact, you hoping that some shit happened with Mr. Charles so you can say I told you so. Like that's the fucked up part. But at the end of the day, look who's benefiting from it. It's these niggas out here.
Right, but I do think that.
Um,
Go ahead.
no, you good. Go ahead.
I do think that it's on the older women, right? Because like I do understand. Like there's been like talking to a younger woman who is what we might call have behaviors of a pick me. It's very 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 frustrating right here because somebody like an Asaya or Jazz, not it was her name, I forget the girl name. Damn, I forgot her
Yeah.
name. It don't matter. But the things that they say and it's very harmful, right? Because they're perpetuating something. But I still think that at any given chance, right, I want to inform her. Like, of course, it's levels to it because in these spaces that I might run into her, if she say some dumb shit, I'm gonna check it because that's just the nature of the space. But realistically speaking, like she doesn't know any better. And she is literally being manipulated literally by a system that I have learned, and it took me a while to learn it all. It took me a while to learn it all. I knew, even though I knew more than she did at her age, I knew I wasn't behaving like her. Doesn't mean that I wasn't still participating in some things that was harmful as recent as last year, as recent as yesterday, right? Perhaps. So I still think it's my responsibility to be patient. And if there's ever a time where she is willing to listen, to hold her hand and give her that information. But her perpetuate certain things is harmful and it do need to be checked. But I think it can be a balance, right? I think generally speaking, we can't do like the ones before us. And I think that there's been a movement where women are saying, hey, we are not going to be like the women that were before us. We understand what these men are doing. And once you know, you can't unknow. So now we got to put out this information, which we're doing. Even in those moments where we got to check the bad behavior, right? The harmful behavior that could be harmful to you, triggering to you. I think the way we talk about certain things and laying it out there is much better than what we were getting growing up. Much better. So yeah.
Yeah, it made me think about like because I get what you're saying with like how do I say it? Like if I'm criticizing something that men do, and I'm being genuine, like this is what men do in a way that like it's supposed to be an educational message, right? And then somebody younger comes, and if I'm getting attacked from it, like it's only certain much grace I can give a person, to be honest, because it's like it's still not okay to harm people. Like that's the part that gets messed up, but it's also part of the way it's supposed to work. So it's like, well, how do you deal with that situation where this person they're not getting the message for whatever reason, but now they throwing stones at you because of what you're saying? Because in their mind, like the way they've been conditioned is, I gotta protect the men, I gotta protect the men. They haven't gotten to that point where they realize like they are not being protected and that they are basically the soldiers of this shit. Does that make sense?
You talking about the young women, right? You saying that they not.
Yeah, because I'm thinking of the interaction. It's like a lot of times I think the message is to just like, hey, I went through some shit and I didn't realize, to just like, hey, I went through some shit and I didn't realize that it was fucked up. And this is like, we think about like the fact that we're told to have children young, we're told to get married young. Like the whole idea that you're too old to start anything at 35 is to make you essentially you don't get to enjoy your 20s, especially not your early 30s, because you're supposed to be freaking out if you haven't already met these milestones. Because you're trying to meet these milestones because you're fearing what can happen in the future, you never get to find yourself. And then when you get around that age, whether you already had those things or not, you have to start looking at things differently. And then you're like, oh, that was some bullshit that was being told. Because 35 feels old when you're 21. But
Yeah.
when you're 33, 35 don't seem that old no more. You like, hold up, why don't I feel old like I said I was gonna be old? Why men still hitting on me? Y'all told me nobody was gonna want me. Why is women my age still having children? You told me by now it would be too late for me. Why is all this shit y'all told me I'm not seeing it in reality? So it's like, hold up, there's some bullshit. And you go tell a younger woman, like, oh, it's some bullshit. The things they telling y'all is fucking bullshit. Genuinely is bullshit. But if you take the message and you ain't gotta listen or whatever, that's fine. You can disagree, fine. But when it
To me, it gets even deeper because when I was 33, I was like, wait a damn minute. Fucking 70 not old to me. I swear to God, I'm like 70 not old. Like, I do not want to be, I do not want my clock to stop at 70 here. Cause I'm like, wait, cause now I have a better concept of what age is, right? So you're right. Like, I'm like, whoa. At 70, I might be that might be the perfect time where I get to really enjoy my grandbabies. Because if you saying that 65 is the best time, the best I might be able to retire, depending on how this world go. I might be able to retire at 65. You think I want my clock to stop at 70 when I can be at the perfect age to enjoy my grandkids, to like really live this life? No, 70 ain't old, baby. I'm starting to be like 70 is elder. 80 is old. 90 old. But I'm like, to me, 40, 50, 60 is not, I don't know. But they do not, like, they lie to us. They would have us thinking that like everything stops. Cause you gotta imagine what I'm saying, right? If you find out at 33 that, hold on, there's people my age having children, what, like, add up. You mean to tell me when your child is 18, you want your clock to stop? Because if you think 33 is old, then what is, and you're my math off, but you get what I'm saying, Tara.
no, you're right, but it's a telltale sign is the way that men and women speak about age, right? Like a man that's fucking 50, like shit, I'm about to go find me a young thing, and you want to have babies at 50, like I think you too old at 50 to be starting a family and all that shit. And I don't know, you could say it's problematic, but why am I supposed to feel this way at this age? And you on the other side over there, like you still feel like you in your prime. You got your little headpiece on. You done popped the pill, and you feeling good about shit. Like, hold up, that's some bullshit.
You don't pop the pill like Bill. Now you think he's somebody.
Yeah, like hold up, something ain't adding up right here. Somebody wants some bullshit. Like I'm seeing the bullshit, right? And I think it's interesting because the thing is, the longer you live, the because of the ratio, the shorter time feel, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like when you talking about 70, that's real because like right now, your late 40s, 50s kind of seem like it's up there. But I bet you when I get there, it ain't gonna seem like it's up there so much. But and that's why I even it's up there so much. But and that's why I even here I put younger and older because like younger and older could be somebody in their early 20s, late 30s, fucking early 30s, late 40s. Like it could be a lot of different ages. It's like unless you get there and experience it, you realize a lot of this shit they be telling you about when you're supposed to be old is bullshit. And I took a few classes on aging when I was in college, and like one of the things I learned, like it's a psychological effect. If you believe that getting old, that you'll feel old, then you'll feel old. Mm-hmm. Like if your back start hurting, you like, damn, that's just because I'm getting old. Then your back will keep hurting. But if your back hurting, you like shit. The muscles in my back getting weak. I need to do some back exercise to get my shit strong again. You're not gonna age the same way. So like it's a psychological effect. So it's very important to realize like that age ain't shit but a number. Because if you feel old at 65, but you got another 20 years, no, I don't want to feel old for 20 years. I'm gonna get my shit together. It might be hard. I ain't gonna have a lot of energy. I know the energy be giving. I can look at a taller and tell that. But the reality is like, no, like I don't have to feel old just because you tell me I am.
And that's why I think that people, sometimes people when they get 40, they feel better when they was 30 because they start being like, hold on, I ain't about to think I'm old. I'm about to shake myself back. You will find people who being a certain weight like their whole life. Then they get 40 years old and they start working out, losing weight, and getting themselves together. Because, like you said, they like, hold on, it is a psychological thing. Let me shake myself back. Same thing with older people. I be talking about my mama. She lost weight. This is the smallest she ever been in her whole life. Well, maybe not her whole life, but for the majority of her life. Like maybe for 50 years of her life, she's been heavy. Not that heavy to me. Like maybe for 50 years of her life, she's been heavy. Not that heavy to me. She ain't never been that big, but she feel how she feel, and she lost weight now, and she get around good, and she like 72. So for sure. And my daddy did the same thing. He started moving around more. He keeps himself active. And to me, outside of that, it tells me that people don't want to get old. I mean, not that people don't want to get old. That no matter even at 70, 90 is like where your threshold is all of a sudden. But beyond all that, I think that it's important since we can recognize that because of where we are. That's why I think the pressure is on us to get the information out to these younger women so that they're not selling their giving their life up for a weird ass 50-year-old man and they 25 trying to get with him, and instead of focusing on them being established themselves, they too busy like, oh, I gotta hurry up and get married because blah 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 blah, and then they get trapped in with a decrepit ass that's the word of the week, a decrepit ass 50-year-old man who promising them a fucking baby.
But see, and see that's the thing. These motherfuckers are trying to like benefit off that because yeah, like I be thinking about like how they'll say somebody young. I be thinking about like how they'll say somebody young is easy to impress them because I get that. When I was 18, going out to a fancy restaurant and buying something nice, like I ain't had no money for that shit. I'm fucking broke. But in my 30s, that ain't shit. That ain't a motherfucking thing. So like, and it's crazy because it's like one of the things we have to also understand is that women are conditioned to listen to men and distrust women. Because if I say that, like I'm speaking truth, ain't no lies there. But you feel like I'm trying to sabotage you in some way and you don't believe me and you wouldn't believe it unless a man said it, that becomes the problem. We need to keep that in mind. I think that's like when we say things, we realize like, oh, the audience is watching, or we like try to teach a lesson through a man. That's the unfortunate part because them motherfuckers know what the fuck going on, and like it make you want to whoop that old ass. Cause nigga, what? Who the fuck you think you are? And it's like it's interesting how much empathy women have for women that men don't have for men. Even with all the indoctrination, it's fucking crazy a level of empathy that women can still have for women. Cause these niggas don't give a fuck about each other. That old man gonna sabotage all the young dudes just so he can have access to that young girl.
And I seen somebody talk about that. I forget who it was who talked about that. But yeah, that's the truth. Damn, I got a phone call.
Thank you, Jess. Y'all can feel free to come up and join the conversation if y'all want. But the triangulation between older women and younger women is like it's so it is, you see it everywhere. Like you see it in the way things are marketed and how like we're obsessed with youth. And like a woman who is just aging like a regular ass fucking person, you're supposed to feel like, oh, this is disgusting, this is ugly. We're obsessed with being young, right? To our detriment. Like I know that lady who had that facelift, and I get it. Like you don't want to, when your face start looking different, like it could feel weird because that's not who you used to seeing. But like to be obsessed with just being young, that we don't embrace, like as you old age you will look different, and that's perfectly fine. That's how they make money when it comes to capitalism, right? And that's not just the money part, it's causing competition. Because now if you look at yourself and you getting little wrinkles here, or like your body just like doing something, it didn't look the way it used to, and that becomes your insecurity, then you're more prone to be jealous of a younger person, and you shouldn't be. Like you're more prone to be jealous of a younger person, and you shouldn't be. Like you had your time to be young, you older, and you supposed to be embracing that time. But now you feel like it's a battle for what and who? Because why does it matter?
Thank you.
No, if them niggas got wear a cup, ain't no motherfucking way. Like your balls sticking to the side of your leg, you ain't never going. Hell no.
Girl,
That shit's a lie. Your hairline fucked up. No, like your hairline fucked up. No, like hell no. I don't give a fuck. I'm shaming these niggas. I don't care, but still.
that's funny. But no, I agree with you. And that's why it's like capitalism and the patriarchy gonna come into the conversation. We already talked about the patriarchy aspect, but when you added in the capitalism, yeah, because the beauty industry, and when people start to talk about women, blah 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 blah, yeah, because women are doing everything in their power except living a stress-free, carefree life to be young. When the simple solution is staying the fuck away from a lot of you niggas, that would be the simple solution. They wouldn't have to have all these creams, dreams, and things. They could just be in their gardens, chilling, cooking, enjoying each other's company, relaxing, not having to worry about none of the bullshit. Each other's company, relaxing, not having to worry about none of the bullshit. But we can't, and then y'all triangulate us against the younger women. All for us to play into this. Got our money. You got all our money. Plastic surgeons, fucking Olay, Neutrogena. Them bitches done got rich trying to keep a bitch young.
What's up, 30?
Hey, what up? What up?
No, nigga, where's you? Why you sound like that? Sound like that?
I'm at work.
No, you got to fix your speaker. I can't do it. I don't know where he at. Am I tripping?
He talking about he at work.
He sound like he underwater somewhere. That shit don't sound right.
He done crashed out. Now he over here on his back up.
Nah, I ain't crashed out. I ain't crashed out. I just been getting. Mia, you see me in that live the other day?
No, nigga, we talking. I got a topic on the screen.
All right, the triangulation of younger and older women. I think a lot of older women are jealous of younger women. Let's be real. I think they're jealous because their time has passed and nobody wants their rich man.
Let me ask you a question. You think older men are jealous of younger men?
Yeah, that could be true too.
Why do you think that is?
Because their time has passed as well.
The time for what?
I think they're just jealous because they really want to be with the younger woman, and they want to be with like they want to be like they want to relive that fountain of youth. They'll never get that back. I feel like old people should be with old people, and I feel like young people should be with young people.
But how can you say that if you always bragging about how young your girlfriend is?
I don't brag about that.
You say you be saying that shit all the time.
No, I don't brag about it.
No, you be saying that shit all the time.
No, I don't brag about it. People bring it up just because.
No. You bring it up.
All I'm saying is this, right? At the end of the day, you just need to stick in your lane. If you're an old man, right? If you're an old ass man, don't be with an old ass woman, right? If you're a person like myself, a young old person, because I'm considered old to a lot of young people, but I'm also considered young to a lot of old people. So I kind of got the best of both worlds right now.
$30 over here lying. He been telling us about that woman, how young she was for a long time. Now he don't say it that way.
No, I feel like, I feel like this, right? You can't help who you fall in love with, but I never date a woman that's like 21, 20 years old, 19, 18, barely legal woman. I would never go that low. But My lady's 25 years old, so she's not young.
Okay. I'm having a hard time hearing you 30. I'm gonna be
I
honest.
think what's interesting about what 30 saying is that he like when niggas be purposely leaving off like things that we've heard, it goes back to what we was talking about earlier. Like if men like to talk in platitudes and fucking parables, and say things in riddles, and it's like you gotta go over here. It's like a scavenger hunt to figure out their thought, so that they can, and all of that is so that they can operate in plausible deniability, right? So men might not say verbatim this thing, but they mean like, but when you like frame it or when you repeat it, you understand exactly what they're saying because you're taking the context of it. I think that's important when you think about how illiterate a lot of these motherfuckers is, because they don't know how to read and they don't understand that reading it, like because I sent y'all that video when she was saying like reading is more than just like you being able to read the words on the paper. It's understanding the context, and you say this too, Sarah, like really being able to uh critically think about what
Comprehension.
you're looking at. Yeah. So and men think that everybody's stupid like they are. So I said all that to say this: men do not think that older men have lost their touch, because men believe that they don't get to where they need to be as a true man until they get older and they get more money. So they do not think it's the same thing. They don't think that older men are out of the game. They understand the older men are their competition. They not mad with the older men, them candy dealers who was coming to their high school, um, taking those taking those little girls and raping them. They don't care about that. They think that that was like, damn, when I get old, I'm gonna be like him. I'm gonna be at the high schools too. So yeah, they know what they doing.
Which is crazy. They be thinking when I grow up, I'm gonna be just like him. It's crazy. What's up, Dex?
Hey Tara, hey Mia, hey Liz.
Mm.
Um,
Hey,
fun.
Dick.
Miss you guys. I ain't see you guys in a while.
You ain't seen your ass
Oh
in a
no, Dick.
while. We
Yeah,
been
we.
here every day. The
I
hell?
know. I know. You know, when we on the work stretch, it gets a little crazy. Right now, I'm a Black Monday, going from swinging shift in less than 24 hours. So let me just jump on quick before I head to bed.
Mm.
Um, no, this is it is true. We see it happen all the time. Like, and the thing is, like younger guys, they don't even see it. They really don't see it because they see it as mentorship. They're not realizing that it have a lot of older men that purposely mentoring them to mislead them. You know what I mean? And disguising it as I'm helping you, but just giving you a little crumbs to draw you in, but literally misleading you to take advantage of you in different ways, financially, and then keeping you out of the game. Actually, when it comes to being competition with them for women.
Yeah, that's what I said about that talking point. When they be like, "Oh, the women just wanted the Pookies and Ray Rays, the guys out there doing blah blah blah." Like you don't see those women. You don't see them women with them men. The reason why you think that is because some older man told you, like, "Hey, you got to come out here and sell this candy with us because this what the girls want. They don't want no broke ass nigga. Look, they want these niggas out here." And instead of you open your eyes and looking around you, now you feel resentment because that's what that nigga told you because he wanted to prey on you. He wanted you to give you fucking $10 so he can make 50, and you believe that nigga. You and your grown age still not realizing it. That shit is fucked up.
Yeah, and I mean, and this to me, when it comes to the on the woman's side, is how men use pick me's, and I used in air quotes that they would use. That's why to me, pick me's are very dangerous. That they would set up younger women to literally be ill treated, just like they've been ill treated. Is because they it's a form of it's like a disdain. It's like if I had to go through this, then you can be better than me, type of thing. Like, if I go through this, then all of us had to go through it.
Yeah, we hear that when women say, "Well, I went through it, so you got to go through it too." Or when young girls will speak up about some shit some older guy did to them, it's like, "Well, shit, it happened to me." Like, no, that shit ain't fucking cool.
Yeah. All on
What's?
there for now.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I say all on there for now.
Hey Liz, I know you say you didn't want to come up here, but or you ain't
I'm up
mean
here
to.
now, so um, hey everyone. So yeah, I mean, I remember being younger because I was when I was 23, I was engaged to someone who was in his 40s, and his daughter was 5 years younger than me. It was gross, right? But like when you're that age, I mean, when I was that, I'll speak for myself. When I was that age, I didn't know any better, and like I thought it was great. So turned out to not be great, obviously, but like I remember he was married. He'd been married twice before, like he and I got together, and like I and his first wife, well, trigger warning, she self-deleted. Um and like none of that, and like it didn't matter what anyone, because there were other older women that I knew, not necessarily like his ex-wife, the one that was still alive, because she didn't really say much. She kind of hinted at some stuff a couple of times because they had kids together, so like I would see her sometimes. But it was other older women that I also knew who knew him, who had who were like, you need to run. And I was like, I don't even know. I was like conditioned to believe that there was like that their opinions were irrelevant, that they were just like, I don't think I consciously thought this, but my subconscious was like, you know older women are just old hags and their opinions don't matter. I really think that that's like what was going on in my subconscious. um and that was all like conditioning, and that is why this person was able to sort of take advantage of me as a younger person. So yeah, I mean, it works for men to do that.
Yeah, and that one of the things I say that they sneak it into movies like Disney movies. When Lynn was talking about Maleficent, like when we look at like the movies of the princess, and then the older woman who's trying to sabotage her, don't want her to experience true love or whatever the fuck. It's like subconsciously that's gonna have an impact when women tell us certain things. Like, oh, she's saying that because she don't want me to live a fulfilling life because clearly it didn't work out for her, right? Or she want to be the only one to be with somebody, blah 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 blah. Like we see, like yeah, Tangles. It's a lot of them where it's like the fucking the witches, the old witches. They have certain features that make them that essentially resemble an older woman. Like, oh, she's trying to harm me. So like they painted the villain for us, whether we recognize what it is or not.
Right, yeah, and it's like they're all the wicked witches, and then we don't, what that does too is distract from who the real problem is in life. Like that creates, like, that lays a foundation in our brains to where we're not conditioned to see the actual wicked people, which is usually men.
Yeah, trying to take advantage of somebody.
Hmm.
Hey, mom.
Hi, y'all.
Mhm.
Hi. I really like this topic. Seeing this topic made me really feel a way, not in a bad way, but like in a good way, because I feel like we really should be talking about this type of thing, because a lot of the time, younger women is thinking, oh, older women are jealous of me because I'm pretty and I'm fertile and I'm doing all these things that they can't do. And then older women feel like, oh, well, she don't respect me. I'm not gonna give them no guidance, let them learn the hard way, things like that. But all of that is deeply rooted in the triangulation. By making women believe that they're going to hit a wall, by making women think that older women are just bitter, we shouldn't listen to them, it divides the sisterhood in a way where we don't get the warnings. Granny and them was not fucking happy. I remember when I was younger thinking like my grandparents, they've been married for 50, 60 years now. And I used to think, when I get older, I want that. And then I turned 22, I want to say, when I found out the truth that my grandfather was actually a terrible guy who was pimping both of them out and had my granny strung out, took her first baby from her with this new wife, and all of this other shit in the 50 years that everybody thinks like longevity, they happy, they built a whole family together. This man was playing both sides and still be crying about my granny that passed away, talking about they was meant to be together while married to the woman he left her for. They never changed. Like they never changed. But because he had one woman hopped up on the idea that, well, she young and dumb, he don't want nothing to do with her, I'm a grown woman. And then the other one thinking, well, he always gonna come back over here because I'm young and pretty and I can have babies. Da 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 da. That is the exact reason why we have this divide in sisterhood where you see young women, the first insult they have for older women is, well, you old and bitter, nobody don't want you anyway. When that's not even true. But because that's what you have been taught by thinking, I'm gonna run out of time, but when I'm 30, I'm old, I'm done. I can't even have kids no more once I hit a certain age. Da, da, da. Those things are all to the detriment of women, but they benefit men because if I tell young women that they're in their fertile ages, they need to settle down and get married, but not focus on careers. When they realize they're in an abusive situation, they can't leave with a gap in their resume, no type of funds, no type of career to fall back on. It only benefits the man, while women are going back and forth with each other, which is what they fucking wanted the whole time, anyways.
Yeah. And it's another part of that too. When you're young, it's like you don't believe you won't get old either, which is interesting. Like when you're young, you know you won't get old, but you also don't believe you won't get old. It's real interesting how that works. And I think it's important that we as women, especially in our adult years, go and talk to the women in our lives that, like, especially if we put their relationships on a pedestal, because there's certain shit they not gonna talk to you about when you're young. And I'm not gonna tell you this man going upside my head. We gonna smile in your face because we don't want the kids to be upset. You need to sit down and have that adult conversation, get the real answers. Hey, dog, coach.
Can I just say something to what you just said?
Yeah, go ahead.
My mom did that, and it played against me because my dad was preying on my mom. Like he knew her since she was a child, and the way he tells the story, he always says like, "Oh, when she was a little girl, I wasn't looking at her like that." But when I was born, he was 40, she was 28 in her 20s, and she felt trapped. And she waited until I was old enough to reveal to me, like, yeah, your dad probably did groom me, and he probably wasn't the best guy, and that men who are older look at younger women because women their age don't want them. Dot dot dot. She didn't tell me that until after I had already been in the dating world and in my 20s. Like I feel like we need those conversations. We do need the older women to tell us the fucking truth and not wait until we're in their same exact footsteps, in their same exact generational curse, in the same exact situation to be like, happened to me too. Why the fuck didn't you tell me that 10 years ago?
Well, you know they ain't say because they think they're protecting you at the same time. What's up, dog, coach?
I was in the comments singing "Forever Young."
That's all right.
We
I wanna
want
be
forever. But the following verses, do you really want to live forever? Like, think about it. But I came up to give an example of, walk with me. I'm gonna try to keep it short. In biomedicine, when we're researching to find a cure or we're making advancements in medicine, someone can spend 30 years working on it, and then the next person picks up where you left off. They don't scratch the work you did and start back at zero, because it would be a kind of treadmill where no progress would be made. We would always be starting over. So I think about that when it comes to wisdom being handed down. So we do not want to take away people's right to exercise their own free will, trial and error, etc. But it would be nice if we could curb a few years and curb a few experiences. So what that looks like is me not acting like nothing happened and you have to start at the same starting block that I did. So then 30 years later, you realize it was the forest you effed up, but no progress was made for women. So I would love for us to cut that down
to 20 and into 15 and maybe only 10 years of you effing up your life before you get out of it, or 5 years. That's what it's supposed to be. That's what wisdom is, right? But the way that the patriarchy works and the way that traditional families work is meant to separate and isolate you from those um, matriarchal influences where you have your mother in the house and your grandmother in the house and maybe your great grandmother in the house. They don't want you attached to that wisdom because each generation is supposed to cut it down. But if we're separate, you're going to be doomed to kind of repeat the same cycle. You can have the conversation and try to hopefully lean in. But that would be the progress that I'm hoping we see kind of one generation at a time, that we're making less mistakes, we're spending less time, we're investing in ourselves, we're seeing our value, and then it works out that way. But it benefits men if they get to use us for that whole 30 years, like your grandma got used for 30 to 40. They don't want only 10 years of using you or 7 or 5. They don't like that shit. Their system works and they continue to get propelled forward in their career and financially. Everything on their end continues to grow because of the labor that we put in for 30, 40, 50 years. So that's the reason why the triangulation is important to men. It's not only just the women kind of fighting amongst each other. Like you said, it can even be protection, Tara. But us having these open conversations will lead us to that. You may be able to leave a few years earlier, and then your daughter may leave a few years earlier, and maybe your granddaughter doesn't do it at all. But that's the goal. I'm going to go ahead and mute up. Hey, East.
No, that's interesting because it's like that's why this shit keep recycling. That's why this cycle keep fucking happening over and over again. Because essentially, it's like you are starting from scratch. That's the thing. But if we, and like I said, I think the core of it, women learn to not listen to other women, instead listen to men. So men, like, their manipulation, they keep evolving. We get new coverts every fucking decade. It start looking different. So for us, it's like you got to keep starting over, keep starting over, keep starting over. And that's why I said it's important for us to realize a lot of the efforts against women now is not focusing on older women. It's focusing on younger women in a way that's going to separate them from us, and a lot of information that we're trying to like convey to them they're not going to get. Hey, East.
Hey,
East, I was disappointed that I was hoping you stopped by yesterday because we did womb envy.
yeah, you gotta. I'm a DM you, so you could hit me up because, I wish I would have loved that. I remember I was telling you, I was like, damn, I can't wait for you to do womb in me again. Um, hey, Dark Horse, hey everybody,
We
Atlantic
do it
Queen.
again because me and Mia was talking about some shit earlier that was interesting. Because that like I believe that womb envy is the reason why we had patriarchy in the first place. And like every time we talk about it, it's like another layer that comes out of that conversation.
Yeah.
You
Also,
hit on one of the layers too, E. So I ain't gonna tell you on the front. You done hit that night we had that conversation. You hit on some stuff. So yeah, you picking it up. You smart.
yeah, I'm gonna pick it up. I'm gonna pick it up every time. But yeah, I think they know it's womb envy because Sigmund Freud, his nasty, decrepit, cowardice, nasty self. He's the one that started the whole. He thought that women had penis. He came up with this theory that women had penis envy, and it was I think like 100 years later, another woman, this woman, actually was like, actually, it makes more sense that men have womb envy, but he tried to use women having penis envy as a way to say that young girls are attracted to their fathers.
But you know what's crazy about that? It's because like at first it wasn't penis envy. It was talking about like the incest between men and young girls.
Uh-huh.
After
Yep.
some pressure, he switched it up, and I'm like, this is some crazy shit.
Exactly.
But penis envy don't make sense. If anybody got penis envy, it's these niggas who keep sending this shit to your inbox. They the one got penis envy. But
Right,
just saying,
next to a damn remote or carrot or
you know they be dick fishing though.
for
Don't
real.
tell.
You lying. But what I wanted to say about your this topic about triangulation against younger women, older women, I think also too, besides the familial, like family, I think also it is really important for older women, younger women to have friends with older women. I know when I was younger, I always hung out with older women. Like that was, I think it was because I just used to hang out with my brother's girlfriends a lot. They were much, much older than me. And they passed down a lot of wisdom that caused me to be able to see a lot of BS before it came. But also when I was working, you know how y'all you be at work and you be friends with the craziest people. So I was friends with a girl. She was 20, and I was I think I was 10 years older than her at the time. So I think I was 30 at this time. And she had told me how she had gotten pregnant by this dude. And, the dude was trying to get her to keep the baby. And, he didn't want to commit to her. It was a situationship type of thing. And at first I immediately wanted to jump into mom mode and be like, you shouldn't do that. But I was like, you know what? Instead of doing it that way, I'm going to just tell her like what it's like to what the experiences of being a single mother is, and how ridiculously atrociously hard it is, especially even with the support system, how hard it's going to be. And she decided what she was going to decide. She made her own decisions and decided not to continue her pregnancy. And I was on Facebook the other day, y'all. She literally in Spain right now, just in Spain on the beach, just laid out, living her best life. And I love it for her. Every time I go to her Facebook page, I'd be like, yes, girl, do it, do it for the vine, do it for me, please. But yeah, I think it's really beneficial, especially when you are a younger woman, to have older woman friends, even if it seems like you don't have much in common. We women, we gonna have something in common.
When you said that, it made me wonder, cause like it's interesting because like I wonder if also a part of it is like us trying to live like vicariously through younger women, not in a like a deviant way, but like to see that some like to be harmed by a system and see that another woman was able to escape it, it does give you like a really good feeling.
I'm not gonna lie, it does. It makes me feel good every time I see her. First of all, I didn't even know they had beaches in Spain. I didn't even know that. But it just every time I see her, I feel so proud of her. I feel so proud that and it is me, like, I don't want to say like living through her. Well, actually, yeah, it is kind of like that, because she didn't went and got her master's degree, and she then did all of these things, and it's like, yeah, someone didn't get caught up in the trap. She didn't get caught up. And it just, I don't know, it really warms my heart every time I see her.
Feel like we happy when they breaking out of prison.
Right.
You made it out. But I was gonna say too, and it's not even a dream denied. If I can just, maybe give some insight, or someone would listen to me, it can be a dream deferred. I'm 45. I got a 12 and a 6-year old. I tore my 20s and 30s up. I went everywhere, so it can be deferred. And it doesn't have to look traditional how you have the children. Like, it doesn't have to be what you maybe thought it was or what someone else is telling you. You can still fulfill so much, but we have to educate and put it out there that it's possible. So it's not even necessarily influencing them to make a change, to make a decision one way or the other, but you can show them like, hey, did you know this was an option? Did you know you could do it this way, or what have you? And by the time they get to their mid-30s, they may want to go, it was a dream deferred. I'm going to go ahead and stamp the denial on that. I'm not going to do it at all. But you have the time to let your brain fully function. You have the time to experience relationships. You have time to focus on yourself and make sure that's what you wanted to do for yourself. And I think that's something that you maybe the old and new can kind of meet in the middle on. So we can at least move the needle. And then, like I said, some of them may not even go that full distance. They're like, well, I ain't getting married. I'm not having kids. They'll be like, see, you waited. If you'd have done it when you were 22, that may not have been the same decision you would have made at 32. But it's all in moving it in incremental measures. As long as we're moving it, I don't give a fuck. Get on the beach, girl. Lay it out.
Yeah, and I think seeing the younger women talking about they only want to be mothers, I love that for them. But I would say this also. So I married young and I got out. Shout out to me, right? But sometimes that can be like when I'm talking to somebody who I like feel like maybe approaching that situation, the toxic part of me do this thing where I'm like little girl in a woman, right? And I hate when somebody little girl me. Like yeah, you younger, but that doesn't mean that you don't have like you can't add to the conversation. But like sometimes you gotta be careful with it because you want something so much for someone that like that pushiness ain't gonna work any either. So you gotta find like a balance. Anybody ever experienced that before?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. That was my first instinct, was to be like, no, girl, don't do that, because you don't even know what you don't even. It's like, no, I don't want to do that, because that caused me not to listen to my own mama, and it caused me to have a very, hard head make a soft ass, and I had to go through like a lot of hard lessons, and it made. But luckily for me, I still had like older woman friends that was like, actually, your mama right, but they didn't try to little girl me. I think it's because when we become a mother, we start doing mom shit. We start like, no, you don't know, you just, and I think that I was able to just give her the advice how my older friends gave me that advice. Well, like, you do whatever you want to do, babe, and I'm pretty sure whatever decision you're gonna make is gonna be a good one. But let me give you a day in the life.
Yeah, and even every day in their life, support her. Like women aren't encouraged, and like, if you could, like, let's say we're just going to use your example, East, because it's easier, and it's about, hey, am I going to have this baby or not? I would leave the baby conversation out of it. What do you want to do? What do you want for you? Run it down
Exactly.
and focus, because we're not used to being centered. We're not told that our opinions and our careers and our desires and our hobbies are important or what have you. Get that woman to focus on her. I mean, hype her up. You're like, you want to do that? And how would you get there? So what are the steps? Okay, so you want to do this for a couple of years and this. Like, let her see that there's another option. Open her mind up and let her be self-centered. You center her and just find another way to come at it where you're not saying, don't do that. You're saying, what do you want more? What's good for you right now? Is this something that you can do later in life? Is it what do you want to do at this moment? And it can go either way, but we're not centered and we're not told to prioritize ourselves. And I think that can work a lot if we get out of this role that we're always serving and we're always here to care for someone else. Just teaching that self-care and putting ourselves first could go a long way if we supported ourselves as a community of women.
This
Did anybody else want to
conversation,
add? Oh, there you go. Go ahead, Mom.
yeah, this conversation, what y'all just said, y'all don't know it, but it healed a part in me because when I popped up with my first son, I didn't consensually conceive him, but I had already made up in my mind that I was going to have him because I wasn't going that other route. And my sister tried to guide me. She tried to have the conversation, but I feel like what y'all are saying right now, she didn't go that way. She just went straight with get rid of it. It's not even a baby yet. Just let it go. And then, she isolated me after that. I feel like if she had come to me the way that y'all are explaining, which is why it healed me, to hear that, yeah, she was trying to help me, but the way she went about it, I took that as harmful. And even like I didn't even want to go to her for guidance anymore after that because of how she approached it. But I feel like if she had sat with me at the table and talked to me how y'all are saying, demonstrating a way that we could definitely guide each other, he probably wouldn't have been here. And I wouldn't have had to struggle through my first degree with him. I wouldn't have had to figure out on my own how to be a mom and all that shit because I would have took the guidance. I would have said, she's thinking about my future. I need to think about my future. How is this gonna, affect me? But in the time, just hearing, oh, get rid of it, or we're not supporting this, and that type of thing, just kind of pushed me even further to the opposite direction, where it was like, I'm gonna prove y'all wrong. I can do it. But in reality, I did it, but was it easy? Hell no. And I probably could have survived without it.
And I
But
think
if
that's
she
what,
told me, I would have respected it that way. I would have been like, yeah, you're right, and I probably would have been on the beach in Spain too.
yeah, and I think also it's like I'm pretty sure because like sometimes we give advice and like it's not well received because we ain't said it the right way. Sometimes we wish we had another shot at it. Like, damn, I wish I could have said it like this instead. Because like that's part of it too. Because it's like you don't always know how to say the right thing. It's not going to always come out the right way. Sometimes it's going to sound a little fucked up, but it's like part of it is like when somebody give us a message, like sometimes we got to let it sit for a while. Like, what is this person trying to say? But that's some shit you learn, you learn as you go.
But I
Liz,
sat back down with her. I definitely sat back down with her years later when he was like 3. And I was like, I get it. I get what you were trying to tell me. I'm not mad about it now. And she was like, sis, I just wanted you to not end up like me, a young mom, instead of living and having your dreams. I wanted you to be able to, navigate your 20s without being a mom. And it was like, damn, if you came to me the first time, we probably wouldn't have been going this route. But we did come back together. She did regret attacking it that way. But hearing y'all say that, like, really just healed something in me, because it's like, there is a right way to do this. And if she had done it that way, damn, I could have been in fucking Spain. I
Well,
could have
here's
been
the
in
interesting
Spain.
thing about it, which is what I was saying earlier.
Save
Whereas
this
like
book out.
women still have like a level of empathy, because like you go through some, like you went through some shit, and you're not like fuck. You all gotta learn for yourself. It's like no, let me say this to you. Don't do what I did. Like we wanting better, right? I mean, it depends on the where on the spectrum of male centered you are. That you just don't see men do. Men be sabotaging each other. But Liz, Dex, or Mia, did y'all want to add something?
No, I'm good.
Okay, I was trying to make sure. No, I agree. I think it's difficult because hearing that, it's like I understand both sides of it, right? I understand the how things can happen in a moment because when you don't experience certain things, you're under a lot of stress for um the a younger person that's under you. So it's like some of the things I've experienced, I'm like hyper sensitive about it because I do not want that to be somebody else's story. But I also know that it's so many more things that's happening that would cause a person to might feel how you feel. And that's where it is. I don't think that we necessarily have to like have this like we don't need to be policed in our tone because that happens enough. But I do think that the more we have empathy for ourselves, the more we have grace for ourselves, the better we are at sharing that with the younger women coming under us. It's a lot of resentment that we have on top of experiencing something that we may have been warned about or something that we was told about, or maybe it's resentment in us having the women that was over us. So we still got to work through that. But I think that us having these conversations and us realizing like it's a complicated, complex thing that we're dealing with, where you want to be in a place where you can encourage the younger generation, but you do not want to be in a place where you are an authority over them. And a lot of times that's where the rebellious spirit come in to what mom was talking about. So we gotta learn how to give the information and it not be us scaring people because shit went wrong for us. Cause it just gives you too much room. It gives a person too much room to say, oh, you fucked up, you old and bitter, you fucked your life up, so you assume I'm gonna fuck mine up. And that's not what we're saying, but that may be how the message is conveyed. So as we learn to give ourselves grace and compassion and love, we will learn how to get that message out. I think we got to understand we at the first step. Like the generation now, and this conversation being had now is not a conversation that was had 10, 15, 20 years ago. So we in the first stage of it. But eventually we'll get to a place where it's like we're able to give this information and it be received because we're not coming from this place of resentment or fear. We're coming from this matter of fact place like, hey, let me pass you on this information. Here's why. So I think that it's important to have the conversation so that there won't be the next situation with a big sister and a little sister to go different, right? It'll be exactly what she needs to prevent herself from falling into the same footsteps that the hard road, unnecessarily hard road. But keep in mind, we're also going to be dealing with a generation of young women who, even in their flaws and still being socialized a certain type of way, these young women are not playing. They are not falling for you need to marry at 20. They not falling for it. And
I
I mean
mean, I think
for it.
Yeah, I think social media helps a lot with that because it's like, I think about growing up and the fact that like, even though I lived in a big city, it like I was in a small part of a big city around the same people, and it's like you don't have the diversity of what like experiences that you get online. You meet people all around the fucking world with different perspectives, and you like, hold up, this shit not checking out because like you said this, but this lady, she fucking 42 and she doing a gender reveal. So what the fuck y'all talking about? Dex, are you there?
Dick
Yeah,
said, oh.
yeah,
You want
I got a
what you?
call. I got a call just now. Sorry about that.
Are you good? You good? I was wondering if you want to chime in about like giving advice to the younger generation though.
When it comes to giving advice, I mean it's simple. Believe us when we say this shit that we're saying online. Like all you have to do is pay attention at this point.
Because I
Because
noticed, like, we talk about, we be talking about, like, how the younger women don't listen to us. But, like, because what you be saying kind of go against the grain, a lot of the younger dudes be giving you a lot of pushback. So, like, have you found, like, any success in, like, talking to them? Or you just, like, fuck it, they stupid?
I would say probably 95% is fucking this stupid. It's a very small amount where they'll actually like pay attention or listen or at least take it in to the point that they'll start questioning themselves and questioning the things that they say and start looking into history and stuff like that. Like, but it's such a small number. It really is.
Hey Dex, do you feel that men come to maybe vent and tell you what's going on, but they weren't asking for advice? I feel like us women sometimes, because we're a little communal, we'll talk through our problems. We're like, "What do y'all think?" And we're actually looking for someone's input. But I don't. Maybe, and I'm not in circles. That's why I'm asking you. Do they come and go? What would your advice be? Or they just tell you, "Man, my baby mama this," or "Man, my girlfriend going through this." They vent and they walk away. They're not really looking to talk it out and look for other options.
Yeah, they're not looking for options. They're looking for confirmation. They're looking for me to just side with them and say yes and join in on it to give them that confirmation that they're right. So they don't like hearing what I have to say because I speak to my friends just the way I speak here. Like I don't sugarcoat it because I look at it if I consider you a friend, I'm not going to help you walk off a cliff. You know what I mean? Just that means I'm not your friend. You know what I mean? So I'll be honest with you. I will literally ask them like, "Hey, tell me the whole story. Like, what's going on? Not just your side of it. Like, tell me the scenario. Like, what happened?"
And I think for men, that inability to like build community is what like fuck it up for giving advice to younger men because essentially like for men it's like conformity is a big thing. Like it's all about conformity. But if they outnumbered, right? And like they're going to conform to the group. So if it's a group of men saying something, they might get a little pushback, but eventually like you'll see them give in a little faster. I just think it's interesting. Did you want to say something else?
Yeah, no, what you're saying is correct because like I've always had problems with that with men. But I never truly dig into it to find out the why behind it. But having these conversations and actually listening to men, now I understand the why. Because I've always been like this. Like, you know what I mean? I've always like, if you say some nonsense, I'll tell you that don't make sense, you know. And I'll tell you why. And 9 times out of 10, they'll either stop coming for advice or stop saying what's going on and they'll then
Well, I got
go
another
for
question for y'all. My bad, Dex.
there you go. Or they'll go by someone else just to get there you go. Or they'll go by someone else just to get the confirmation bias.
Yeah. Yeah, for the men, it's the group thing. Y'all gotta. That's what I said. Like, men gotta figure out how to build community with each other when they don't follow the group. Like, it's a way to like go against the group, but find more men who go against the group and build community there. Um, no, mom, that shit trash. But I wanted to say one more thing, and I wanted y'all to chime in because another thing is when being younger, it's like it's this idea that like if you don't find a man, have a child, do X, Y, and Z, then when you get older, you're gonna be fucking miserable. Like you're gonna be miserable, right? Um, and one thing I've learned through personal experience is that that's not fucking true. Like, like the freedom I have in my age, I don't know. Old is fucking subjective, apparently. But like in my age of like being older than I was, like I feel the most freedom now than I did when I was younger. And I think a lot of times it's this misconception that when you're younger, you're happy. Like we have this misconception that the younger group is just happy, the older people are just fucking miserable and upset, right? Because like, the word is, oh, that woman over there talking about these niggas, she fucking bitter. But like I'm sharing information, but I feel happy though. It's the crazy part. Like I got community, I got people I can talk to, I know who the fuck I am. Like I don't give a fuck what people think about me. Like the freedom of like being able to just be who I am and exist. Ain't nothing I experienced in my younger years can fucking compete with that. And that's not a thing to like separate the two, but just that's just the honest truth, because I think that's the message we get, that when you're young you happy, you free or whatever, and when you get older you just miserable. But I'm realizing in real time that's a lie. And I was wondering if y'all could, like, if y'all got similar experiences or something else that y'all could relate to, if y'all could speak on it.
Oh yeah, I think when I was younger, I don't think I was happier. I think I am happier now than I was, 10, 15 years ago. I think I thought I was happier because I was careless. Right now, I'm carefree. And I think when I was younger, I was living with my mama for a long time, and I didn't have to worry about bills, and I didn't have to worry about this, that, and the third. And once I started learning, like, oh, dang, what's a 401k? I got to fill out a W-2. That's when the stress came. But as I got older and learned how to navigate those things, and then when I learned how to appreciate to appreciate being single, because I didn't appreciate being single before. I hated it. I thought it was miserable. I thought I was just, what's wrong with me? I was given very much pick me. Why haven't I, been picked yet, or why am I not this, or why not that? And then when I did have that, I was like, this is fucking miserable. This is the most miserable time that I've ever had, was when I was in a relationship with a child, like, and had a, attached to the man, had that was the most miserable time of my life. And now I am carefree because I only have to care for myself, in a teenager. But other than, that's what I think people misinterpret what their lives are when they're younger. That's all.
No, and I think that's why they push relationships on younger women too, because like that level of freedom you experience by getting comfortable being by yourself. But if you go straight from your family house to that nigga house, then like you never have time for that, and like you don't even, sometimes you don't realize how fucking miserable you are in the situation until you get out of it. And
Yeah.
like how you gonna know if you young, dumb, full of cum, literally. And it's like you think that's what happiness is. You don't realize like there's another layer of happiness that you can experience. You just ain't been there yet.
Yes, that part. That part. I didn't realize how miserable I was until I was out of it. You are absolutely right.
I just wanted to say that was a bar east when you said carefree versus careless. Put that shit on the shirt. And I wanted to say
That's that bar.
it was a bar. But the idea that I have about the younger me versus older me, there is a, I don't know if it's viral, but there's a trend on TikTok, right, where it says adult me calling my mom to check the recipe on what I'm cooking because my mom is an adult Pro Max, so it's an Apple phone, joke. But I'm an adult, but she's an adult Pro Max. So you were an adult, right, in your early 20s, but you weren't the adult Pro Max. There is a market difference, and I think what Tara points to, right. is the freedom of now I'm following my own dreams, my own path, and I'm not looking to kind of check off a box of these things that I must have. I want to be married by 25. I want kids by 27. Like, we write these things down, right? You know, we dream about it and we have this timeline, and that timeline doesn't include anything for self if you're looking for these traditional things. So you can enjoy it. And it could be something as simple as I'm 26 and you're 26, but I'm going out and I'm 26 and single. I'm broke, right? I ain't got a bunch of money, but I don't have the encumbrance of a man. So if it's me and my girls, all of us are single, we're 26 at the bar, all of us are getting on the bull, taking shots, we dance on the dance floor with each other, and you are 26, but you there with your man. So we grab your hand like, come on, girl, come over here with us. She has to look to him. She looks to him. And then she goes, no, I'm good. Like, just that. Just that. We're both 26. We're both young. We both may not have it all together financially, but that's the undertone that people don't know how to bring to the forefront and say and put words to it and say, there's a different feeling. You're feeling obligated, and your behaviors and everything are tied to someone else's expectation and approval. If she wasn't there with him, she would have got drug on the floor. She would have had a grand time with us. She would have been like, what's your number? We coming back again next Thursday. Like, there's an amount of freedom that we know comes with you staying by yourself and just having a supportive community of people that you love, but they don't have a direct expectation on you like it does in a romantic relationship. So that's all I'm saying. You know, it can be good, it can be bad, but I was broke and I still had a good time. But it was the times that I'm now looking to someone else's approval, permission, whatever you want to call it. Can we go out tonight? You don't want to go? All right, I'm staying in. That's you just knocking yourself down notch by notch, putting aside what you may want to do for someone else. And I think that's what kind of sucks up your youth, and that's what kind of will make you start to regret and start to become resentful. I'll let somebody else go.
Um,
You made me think about the I thought we was going to order, but I got something. You made Dark Horse made me think about, and I also do. I agree. East, that was it. Careless and carefree is a major difference. But Dark Horse made me think about Portia on the Housewives, and like the way she was acting when she was married with that married to that punk versus, you know, once she got some freedom, and the way the women was speaking about her acting like that, and the way she behaved. And she was young. She was like in her like late 20s on that show. But anywho, when you said that, you made me think about that. But I know for me, when I think about it, it's a whole lot of things. But I know for me, when I think about it, it's a whole lot of things that restricted me when I was younger that you do not pay attention to based on the way we are socialized. And one of them was trying to get married and trying to figure out a way to get married because I had so many unconventional things that had happened, like trying to navigate that. It drains you, right? It drains you so much, and it sucks so much of your life out trying to fit this idea of this 1940s view of what a woman should be doing, right, and performing in this way at a very young age. But I know for me, in hindsight, one of the things that really frustrated me outside of that is the fact that I did not know stuff, and I'm really frustrated about these situations where I did not know exactly what was going on, and now I have the information. So one of the downsides to, you know, being young and not having the experience is you do not have the information, you do not have the best tools to navigate, and that is why it's important to have older people, older women on your side, and it not be a competition, because it's supposed to supplement, it's supposed to be a passing down of the information I discover now that I have. I should have been There should have been somebody older who understood what we understand now to pass it on, right? I am so frustrated. I feel like I'm better, even though there's still a struggle, even though there's still other issues. I know some stuff, and y'all know I'm big on saying once you know, you can't unknow. And information is so vital to understand how these systems work is to understand how, at the very least, you can navigate around it. You might can't solve it, you might can't change anything, but you knowing what's going on is the best thing for you. And a lot of young women do not have that. So I do think that life was wonderful, not having to worry about certain things. Being careless does come with its perks, but in hindsight, I much rather be carefree. But I also believe that it should be the younger generation who should get to be carefree too. They shouldn't be bogged down with this idea of being tied to a person and with a baby tied to their hip. We need to work through, since we have this carefree here now, because of what we learned and the understanding, we need to be making sure that the next generation under us gets to be carefree too, so they can actually enjoy what 20s are supposed to be, which is exploration, fun, travel, making friends, socializing, all those beautiful things, what it should be, instead of us trying to figure out how we're gonna be Betty Crocker.
That's crazy. They have a stress in our 20s, y'all. We be fucking stressed. Damn.
I fell victim to that propaganda. Like, when I was like 17, 18, 19, and early 20s, I didn't give a fuck what anybody, what any man, any of that shit. Like, I was genuinely like living for me. I thought it was about exploring and all of this stuff, but the propaganda, especially like the way my parents weaponized religion against me at that time, they made it seem like I was vain. It was sinful to center myself, to focus on myself, to be selfish, to just experience life. They felt like it was unfair that I was living carefree and just, being able to do what I wanted to do. But they had responsibilities. They had to sit down early. And it's like, instead of putting young girls in the position to have to get out, let's not force them to get in, because now that I'm 25, just like the rest, I'm getting the fuck out. But what, imagine if y'all never made me feel like I had to get in, like I was gonna miss a mark, like I was gonna fail if I didn't do this faster. Like, my dad literally sat down with me when I had my first son and was like, if you want more kids, you better get out the way. Don't wait till you're too old, because you ain't gonna wanna. And I'm like, if I had never been told that shit, I wouldn't be getting out. I would have never got the fuck in. I would have been straight. Like, that propaganda is crazy, to demonize being selfish if you're young. You have no responsibilities. You should be focused on yourself.
Is this Jayla?
How
No,
did
you
y'all
sound like her.
recognize that? How did she?
Like, because I thought so too, but when Lynn said that, I was like, nah, I'm tripping, because she would have said something. But then Lynn said, I was like, wait a minute,
Y'all
is it Jayla?
recognize that?
Because I
It
was
is a
like,
secret
wait,
account. It is me, though.
not you trying to be
Out of here.
incognito. You better,
It is,
we
but
ain't gonna
people
tell
keep
nobody but
clocking my
God.
team. People keep
It's
clocking
your
my voice.
voice. But no, I think it's interesting that you said, and I'm gonna be real quick because I'm really busy. But when you said religion, that shit hit me right in my gut, because yeah, religions play a major role in my delusion, and I've been mad ever since. Religion, and the fake pseudo religion that my family pushed had me fucked up, wasted too much of my time. So that's a major component. Mom, you absolutely right.
Anybody else want to say something?
Yeah, real quick. I mean, what his mom ex, what, forget the name they just said just now, but it reminds me of just the other day. Wasn't that a couple of weeks ago? My daughter told me, she was like, I don't think I want to have any kids. And I was like, why you say that? And she was like, I don't think I'll have the patience for that. And I literally, I support it. I was like, listen, you don't have to have kids if you don't want to. I was like, if you think you wouldn't be able to handle kids, don't. Because you don't want to resent your kids if you know that that's not what you wanted. So it is okay for you to not have kids. Don't let anyone pressure you to make you think that you're supposed to. You have
That's
that choice.
definitely okay. Yeah, it's crazy how that's pushed on because that's pushed onto us, right? Because the most interesting thing is motherfuckers who don't, they are not around kids at all. They ain't no kids nowhere, and they be like, I want two, three of them things. Like, what is you talking about? Have you been around children? That shit is work.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Actually,
I
I'm
just
so
encourage
grateful
them.
I
that
did want
introductory
kids
course.
without the
Get a
husband.
pet. No, get a pet, and then let me know when you got to get somebody to watch that pet when you
No,
go out of
no,
town.
pussy. Let me speak about that too. The pets too, man. The pets be responsibility. Let me tell you too. The pets too, man. The pets be responsibility. Let me tell you something. Depend on the pet, you gotta find a babysitter when you go on vacation. Like y'all need to slow down on these pets too. To be honest, shit.
The
That
pets
motherfucker
do.
got eat. It get sick. You worried? Like
You
it
know
can't
what?
talk to
The
you.
vet bills. The vet bills are out of
Tara, you
fucking
just made me
pocket.
realize I don't got nobody to watch my cat while I go when I go see Beyonce.
Oh
Exactly.
no!
Oh damn, girl, you just made me realize I ain't got nobody
You
to
better
watch my
sneak that cat in
girl.
that purse.
I ain't got nobody to watch my daughter. No, but I was gonna say a lot of times when parents do that though, it's a lot of one thing specifically, and I wouldn't say it is necessary. One thing specifically, and I wouldn't say it is necessarily like for the black community. I think it's for all of us, all women, is that we don't be realizing when we are literally someone's retirement plan. We are our parents' retirement plan. So whenever they try to put us up for where they're gonna live at, where they're gonna go, I need my daughter to get married. I need her to have a husband and have her 2.3 kids and be have the kid get the kids out of the way early so she could go ahead and start making money and so I could move in with her. I don't think that we don't really realize that it's a really big deal, that it's a really big thing in our communities, and that's why a lot of us, a lot of these dudes be like, yeah, because they be worshiping their grandmas. That's why I don't know who said it, but somebody was like, yeah, um my grandma passed away or something. I hate when a nigga grandma die. I know that sound crazy.
Me
That shit make me so mad. Cause I'm gonna stop talking to you, cause he about to put you through hell. But yeah, we
Damn.
be we be our parents' retirement plan. But if it's, I mean, I feel like it's if you, I would not like really regret my decisions, because at the end of the day, we gonna know our kids longer as adults than we will as children. Like that time passed by real fast, and when you're in it, it feels like you're in this hard, like this. It feels like your life is standing still, which it does a little bit, but it only lasts a certain time. It only lasts to like just yesterday. I was like, damn, I ain't seen my son in 6 hours.
Yeah,
Like
that's
I didn't know.
crazy.
I was like, I didn't know where that
Same.
nigga was. I
I
was like,
can't even think of my son as an adult. And that's crazy. Damn.
yeah. Cause I mean, I went and knocked on the door. I was like, "You still here? You still live here?" He was like, "Yeah, I'm good." It's because he's already at 12 years old. He cooked for himself. He go. I don't need to do much for him, and it's like, damn, it's really
Yeah,
over.
you gotta do wellness checks on them independent children.
Yeah, for real.
no, literally, like you have to make sure they still alive. You good in here? You haven't said nothing in 10 hours.
Thank you. Thank you. I had to go out there. I was like, yo, like, you all right? What's going on? He was like, no, I'm good. I'm all right.
Good
But
morning. Whether it is, not the
Good
morning
morning.
time.
but just
Just hit
just
me in the
know
gut, just how Mia got hit. I just got hit in the gut so hard.
just know yesterday, it wasn't until yesterday I kind of realized. I was like, damn, it's over. It's done. Like there's no more, you know what I mean? There's no more extreme baby, constantly having to look, and you know what I mean? I still got to go through those teenage years. Still got more time to go, but just know that like I really don't. it really don't bother me that I had him when I had him because I'm gonna know him as an adult way longer than I am gonna know him as a child.
You when you
Damn, any
said that
skunk
the
talking to you like
grandmother
that?
praising the grandmother. I had a conversation like yesterday with a black man who said to me that what if I fell on hard times and I needed somebody, I should be able to call my kids. And he argued with me because I told him, no, my children don't have to leave at 18. They can only leave when they're stable. And I damn sure would never turn to my children that I put on earth and burden them with my problems. That's not why you have kids. But so many people think when I get old, my kids gonna take care of me. That's why I take care of my kids. It's transactional, and I feel like that's a big problem. Like that's why I literally just went back no contact with my mom because she was like, "I wish you would stop having kids so you could come take care of your mama." You want me to stop my life to come take care of you when I'm literally building generational wealth and putting my children in a position to never have to come back home? You want me to put that on hold to prioritize you because you were shitty in your life and how you took care of yourself, and now you're struggling with bad health. Now it's your children that you're falling on, and two of us have escaped. One of us is still, in the trap of, well, she's sick, so I'm gonna try to help her, but that is not our problem. And when she had us, she shouldn't have been thinking about, I'm going to pour into my children so that when they get older, they can pour into me. She should have been thinking, I should be pouring into my children so when they get older and if they want to start families or they want to go live their life, they can pour into others. But that is the chain of life that, they consider, because I was talking about moving to Japan and I mentioned to her, like, a lot of the older people watch the children, but they don't have to work because they're being taken care of by their kids. And she like, that's what we need in our community because y'all don't take care of y'all parents. When y'all get older, y'all go do what y'all want to do.
And what's
That's the
interesting about that?
idea.
The interesting thing about that, could it possibly be that when women are younger, the goal is to find a man, and that man is most likely to unalive like a decade before you. So when you get older, you're gonna be lonely. You're not gonna have communities to the point where you have to rely on your children. Because like I feel like if women were more close knit, then when I'm older, like I can, like I don't have to rely on my kids. You see what I'm saying? A lot of times they be lonely, and looking. Sometimes they just want you to be there because they don't have nobody there. And I think it's interesting because
You
that
want to
that
know
male
what's worse?
centeredness impact your old age too.
It's worse because she's misogynistic and she only has daughters. She has been nothing but happy when we fall short so we can come back to her and she can brag about it. And then she turns around and says she needs us to aid her, when in reality this woman is single in her 50s traveling the world. She just feels like that we shouldn't be living our own lives because she had us to dedicate our lives to her. And she literally weaponizes the scripture about serving our parents, and if you don't respect your parents you won't live long. And I literally, when I was like 13, told her, like, I don't want to live long then because I don't want to keep serving you. I want to live my own little life, go play and do all this shit instead of being a caregiver. So it's kind of crazy that I can only speak on my community, but in the black community, black mothers will be in like competition with their daughters and treating us like shit, and then turn around and be like, you need to take care of me. And they try to become the child because they had to grow up too early. And now they're looking at their adultified daughters to parent them. And it's like backwards as hell.
And
And
that's what
won't
I'm
ask the
saying.
sons for a damn thing. Mm.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like essentially, it's like the nuclear family Joseph pack you as a wife, or like this idea that you have to be paired off with somebody. It isolates you to the point where when you get old, like it's hard to, like, I don't know. I feel like it's detrimental for your whole lifetime, to be honest. But I don't know. Um,
Yeah, I got plans. Me and my best friend and my cousin, we finna be hoeing in the old folks' home. That's that's our plan, baby. We finna be hoeing.
Spread that thing around.
I want to live in a tiny home community. Maybe we need to have a nurse fund or something. I don't want to be in that
Mhm.
old folks home with them creepy ass niggas walking around with
They got
slants.
down here in Florida, they got old
Retirement
folks communities.
communities.
They got like these full like cul-de-sac communities where it's like y'all ever heard of the villages?
You talking about like Seminole Ridge?
Yeah.
Like the old people homes? But
It's
like it's apartments?
You know, like
retirement
those,
communities.
yeah, kind of like apartments. Is like they be out there, they be doing bingo, playing fuss shuffleboard, walking and stuff. I'm pretty sure Sagittarius.
That's where I want to be at.
Florida, they
I
got
want
like
to be
these
over there.
senior
It's lit.
living quote unquote apartments
Oh yeah, the
in Pine
villages.
Hills,
Senior
and it's
living.
like
Mhm.
Yeah,
senior
and
living.
Hold up,
you
y'all.
okay
Darkles,
over
what you?
there?
Hold up, y'all. Darkles, what you were saying?
No, I was just giving her the word she was looking for. It's called retirement homes or senior communities. I went back on mute.
Yeah, they got the senior communities and the one in Pine Hill in particular. I think it's over there by Rio Grande. Them old folks, they be tearing it. They be throwing it all around.
They sure the fuck.
They had a they was on the news how they had a gonorrhea outbreak in there.
Yeah, because they be freaked out in there and they
They
be
be
passing that stuff around.
they
They,
was
I know
freaked
exactly
out.
what you're talking about. Like,
I mean, I
I'm
think
literally
I'm gonna be
from over
honest.
there.
If you
It's
hit a certain
terrible.
age, you should definitely when you get an old age, you have the right to be freaked out. Cause like, what the hell? Why not?
Yeah,
Still
listen,
be safe.
but
I know what she's talking about. It was on the news that they was in there infecting each other. Like, you too old to not know what a condom
Yeah,
is.
they had to
don't
go in there and give the old people the sex talk and had to tell them like, look now, like like it was on the news and it was a big thing.
it
Them
was. I
people like,
saw it,
them
but
people already feel
but
like they ain't got that much time left. They ain't worried about none of
baby,
that shit.
they're like, I'm
Well,
about to
I'd
be
rather
out.
not be burning than
Emphysema.
somebody changing my diaper.
Emphysema gonna take me out first. But I wanted to say too with the community though is the idea that I think, crap, I don't know. I know for sure me and Tara talk about it about this openness. What happens though, which is funny, is in these communities, what me and Tara talk about is this openness, and no one owns anybody. So everyone in these communities know that they're sleeping with the same people, and it's a group think. There's no coupled up. They're not saying this is mine. They're like, oh yeah, we know Johnny. He sleeps with all of us on the third floor. We're fine with it. And it's the openness. Like there's this switch that happens in your brain where all of these patriarchal, controlling, who I own, you mine, goes out the fucking window. They're just having a good fucking time. They
Now
all
who
sitting down with
Johnny
Johnny to
Johnny
have
just the
dinner.
only one who can get it up. Dark
Right.
No,
horse.
you no, you
Right.
Johnny the
listen.
only
But
one
They
they
who can
not.
get it
But
up.
hold on. But they're not
Please.
they
owning
chased
Johnny. They're not owning Johnny. Everybody's like, yeah, we all fuck Johnny. We know. Like
they
he's the
chased it
only one
back.
that works.
Dark horse girl, you ate that
Johnny
up because
definitely popping them pills though.
they traced it back to one particular man, and them women did not care. They was passing Mr.
That's not
Johnny
the story. They
around.
didn't care. That's
They
what I'm saying.
didn't
That's
care.
that.
He the
Our
only one
community
that
was
could get
always
his hands
supposed to
on the
be that
blue
way.
pill.
We was always supposed to be that way where we did what we want and we weren't in this I own you kind of mentality. So it's funny that people will go to that at that age, but I'm sure that's not what they were preaching in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, what they told their kids and grandkids. But when they get out there, now is you don't care. But that's the way it should have always been, not contracting and spreading stuff from Johnny, not that part, but the openness and the freedom and not having some resentment because I don't own this man. And I know Johnny coming on Tuesdays. My day is Tuesday. I'm good with that. I only can do it Tuesday anyway. Whatever's going on, like that freedom of mind to open up and you realize that all the shit you were thinking this whole time was fucking. You could have been having this the lifestyle that you want, which is playing bingo with my girls, taking a cruise with my old ladies, whatever it is. Like that's what I want, and I wish we didn't wait until we were 80 to do it.
Like I said in the comments, our libido goes up as we get older, and then they get ED. I don't know if that's more scientific proof that we was meant to be with women, but it kind of proves that they're the weakest link because what be going on. But then, even then, y'all, I'm young. I'm in my 20s, and they already dealing with it. They already need blue
When
chews
you
and
said
honey
the
packs.
weakest link, just reverse it and be like, that link is weak. Okay,
The
the link
link
is
is
weak.
so
Okay.
weak because they're already in their 20s looking for honey packs. Like, no way, we're already dealing with this. And
Is that
and
Jayla?
yes, Lynn, you
You
can.
must have stepped away.
Oh, okay. I didn't hear you say. I did. Hey, girl.
But yeah, they're the weakest link because if women, as we get older, we have more
That,
energy to do it. We don't have to
that's
worry about periods
evolution.
no more.
I'm telling you, that's evolution.
We evolved to be without men because if only one of them can keep up with all them women, that proves that all them women could keep up with each other. I feel like
No,
science is
no,
trying to
I
tell us.
think these men getting flaccid peeing at an earlier age is evolution. Like, no, go and sit your old ass down somewhere.
Yes, yes, they meet is not working no more in their 20s. Like they need blue chews, they need honey packs, they already having problems where they not keeping it up, and they only be like 20.
That's
I'm
from
talking about
popping them
21 dealing
perks.
with it.
I was just
So
Yeah,
about
That's
that
from
to
popping
say
that,
them
and
that.
also
perks and
from
all that stuff.
yanking it 20 times into a shirt. That's also fucking them up.
That
They
that
And corn.
hold up,
the
y'all. Hold up,
yeah.
y'all. Lynn, did you want to say something?
Yeah, hi host, thank you for letting me up. Hi everybody on the panel. First giving honor to no, just playing.
Hey.
So triangulation of younger women, older women. I mean, hey, I'm sure y'all already said all the things. So if I repeat myself, my apologies. But um it's a this is a touchy subject for me because I feel like for a long time I didn't understand this, but now I do. And like I'm at a really weird age, because the 30s to me is kind of like a really weird age because I don't feel young, but like older women will say like, "Oh, you young" and stuff like that. And being a millennial, I'm in the middle of a weird generation to me. I got beef with Gen X. I really do. So I've been successfully triangulated against them, but like I don't have beef with them because I think I'm young and I think I'm better. I have beef with them because Gen X is very harmful to me. And like it's sad because I feel like they have just as much access to fix like the things that they've been traumatized against or with as millennials, but they don't. And like they're the generation to me that's stuck with these old kind of like toxic mindsets, and they're not trying to do the least bit of changing with it. Instead, they're trying to beat us into submission. Um, they oftentimes what the triangulation looks like, and I don't even know if this triangulation, it looks like them trying to get their get back because they had to do all the things. They had to be respectful. They had to shut the fuck up when they were told to shut the fuck up. They had to endure people talking to them or older women talking to them any kind of way. And then like they stuck in the middle of, hold on, it's supposed to be my turn. I'm supposed to be able to tell a young bitch to shut the fuck up, and she be like, yes ma'am, yes ma'am, because I had to do that. But y'all young bitches not falling in line. So I feel like it's getting more and more volatile. Like from what I noticed, it's getting very volatile with that generation because they haven't come to terms with the reality that they were played. Like they sold them a fucking pipe dream, and oftentimes I feel like they get pissed off that they listened, and now they like, nah, I know it was a pipe dream now, but you're gonna have to fall back and you know dream the same dream that I did because I need my get back. Like I need to put a young bitch in her place, and I don't like that y'all not falling in line. So I don't know if that's triangulation, but that's how I feel.
I think
And
it's
of course I be having empathy, but I mean it only goes so far.
yeah, I was talking about like how when the empathy be there until you feel attacked, and it's all fuck all that. But I think it's interesting when you think about like I can only imagine somebody who felt like they did everything they were supposed to do. Like that's what they were told. They did exactly what they were supposed to do. That's part of their identity. Is like do what you're supposed to, and things supposed to work out. But then it don't work out, and the betrayal essentially is like it ended up being misplaced anger because like instead of you because we said to the niggas like why y'all mad at us, and then that white man got his hand on your neck or his foot on your neck or whatever, and it's like no, it's not that younger woman fault that you got lied to like that, and it's not right to take it out on her because like what the fuck, that's not going to do anything. That's a hole that's never going to be full if you giving it to the wrong person.
I was gonna say too. It's the that dream that you're talking about, Tara. that wasn't fulfilled because they did defer their own personal, goals and got married and stayed with a man after he cheated and had 4 outside babies and then lost his job and you worked the whole time and you did all the things, right? um, and then once you get to that point and now you are divorced or maybe widowed or what have you, and you realize that you missed so much, there is going to be resentment, there's going to be anger, there's going to be hurt because you missed out and you did the things that they told you, especially the church. Oh my goodness, I said do that. But the church telling you this is what you get and this is going to be your reward for staying with abusive, whatever abuse was in the relationship. Doesn't have to be
Don't
physical.
blame Mr. Charlie. Mr.
but
Charlie is just a man.
but they want us to do the same thing. And like you said, it's the punching down, and that was supposed to be the group that you get to punch down on, because you had to endure the same thing. But it isn't fair. And like you said, the empathy sometimes isn't even received when you say go so far, because you can try to empathize and they can be like, ain't nothing wrong with me, I love my life, I like, they will even reject that. We're like, well, you know what, then fuck it, you right, and you back off. But even that's rejected because they're so married to this image of that it was good, that it was perfect, and that's what you were supposed to do. You stay with your man, he's still my man. But like, ma'am, your husband ain't came home in 15 years, he lived with the side chick. That's still my husband. When he unalive, I'm gonna get that benefits. Like, they hold on to this shit. They'll brag about it like it's something to brag about, and it's a lonely life and it's a lonely existence. So even if you were to try to extend some sympathy, empathy, try to have a meeting of the minds, they're still rejecting it because they're still frozen in time, and that being frozen in that moment is, I'm not willing to let go. That this is not going to end the way that they promised me, like Tara said.
Um, how long has that lady Carly been here?
I don't know. I think she just got here. I'm a
I mean,
Carly, come on up here. I don't
I
think
was
Carly.
trying to invite her up, but it ain't enough people. I mean, it's too many people.
Shower
But
shower time. I'll come back.
Delco's always gonna be the one. Go ahead, y'all.
run,
Go ahead. No, don't say. Go ahead and run off. Go ahead, and run off.
no, drop Dex. Dex can drop.
Man did.
That's
Don't
her.
try, Dex. Me
That's
and
not
Dex
the
be
first
fighting
time
on who
she
gonna
tried
drop.
that.
Yeah.
There, Dex already dropped.
Damn, Dex. He faster than me. I'm gonna get him back. Don't worry about it. I'm going on mute.
I
No,
really
you
do.
stay put. Carly not
Carly,
even trying to come up here.
please
Probably
come up
too
here, Carly,
scared to come
because
up here.
which right did you fight for that we not fighting for right now?
And I want to know who,
Right.
like, don't nobody gotta repay you for anything. That's what you're
What are we
supposed to
repaying
do
them
for
for? We
the
don't
younger
have those rights.
generation. Hold on, Jayla. That's what you're supposed to do for the younger generation. See, the problem with the people in this community, and poor people, is that y'all create lives and think that somebody is supposed to repay you. Nobody is obligated to repay you anything. That's not what life is about. Most successful people make life better for the younger generation or for their children. That's just how it is. Like, thinking that somebody owes you something, that's gonna have your mind messed up, because if they don't repay you, then you're gonna end up being angry at people for what? Like, you're not God. You're not you're
I
nothing
am actually.
special. Repay you for what? The damage you cause people? Because I'm sure if you ask your kids, they're gonna say, yeah, you fucked me up.
Go
No,
ahead,
And
you
But
y'all.
yeah, I
that's
haven't
just
got that whole
Hold
lot.
up,
cursed.
but that's
y'all.
what
Hold
my
up,
Talk
question.
y'all.
about
Go ahead. Go ahead,
repaying
Carly.
for women. What women have been through. What women have suffered for years and years being held down by men, by patriarchy. And what are you doing? Running women down. We wouldn't have got here without strong women. Where are you? Up here running women down. What's the point of that?
How are we running women down?
There
See,
you go, right there.
hold
I got
on.
on here. Look at here. You're talking about the older generation. What don't you like about the older generation? Do you
Now,
know what women
hold
have to
up.
go
Where
through?
did, hold up. Where did you,
Not being able to be successful, with having
Carly?
to
Where
be the
did you hear,
homemakers, with
Carly? Where
having to
did you
put
hear
up
us
with
say?
violence, with having to put up with no light.
Carly, where did you
That's
hear
what I
us
could hear as
say?
soon as I got on here.
Carly, what did you hear us say?
Well, I can't remember now, but it just fucked me off
It
straight
was
away.
me. It was me, Tara, that she talking about.
Hold on. What did you say?
I said that the women stayed in these relationships with abuse and outside babies, etc. Have women husbands and left the house still married to them, all that stuff, and they're angry about it.
There wasn't actually all. No, it wasn't. It was about, it was heaps. It wasn't just that. Nah, there
A
was rundowns
question.
in there.
Do you
Yeah, just be
honestly,
mindful of the
do you,
rundowns. Because
Carly, do you honestly think we
we
should be
all on
repaying you
TikTok and
while
we
we're
can all
still
hear it.
fighting?
I'm confused because Carly said it was hate, but she can't
What
tell
It
me what
was.
hate was.
she thinks that us being honest about what the past generations did experience and did encounter and how they interact with the younger generations of people is
Yeah,
hatred
but
when
you're
in
talking about
reality
a
it's just
few
the
people.
truth.
You're not talking about
But
it all, the
but
whole.
you saying us we should be repaying women for fighting. If you not black African American, you
No,
ain't
you
my
should be
older
repaying
generation. So you
by
didn't fight
talking
for what I would
respectfully. We
what
are
we
the
had to fight
positives.
for. So on top of that,
Why are you
what
focusing
are
on the
we
negative?
repaying you for if women are literally fighting in America right now for bodily autonomy?
What are you
We're
fighting
still
for?
Wait,
fighting.
hold on, Jayla. Get that straight first. Are you white, Carly?
Would
Are
it
you a
matter
white
if I
woman?
was?
That ain't fucking
Absolutely.
matter.
Would it matter if
Absolutely.
I was? Why would it
Yeah,
matter?
and thank you. That you answered the question because y'all all say that whenever somebody asks you if you white. Yeah, it matters
Well,
because
I'm
we
not actually. I'm
different.
Māori, but I have a white name. Yeah, I'm proud of my English history too. Hard
So you
workers who
Why?
came to
white.
New
You
Zealand
white.
and put in.
Okay, so you
So
You
I'm
not my
white.
Māori
older
Got it.
descent,
generation, like
babe.
I
But
said.
nah, I'm probably
Carly,
blacker than
hear me.
you.
Listen, Carly. You not my older generation if you're not an African American woman. First off, for number two,
You don't even know
if
where Africa
if
is, do
you
you?
think that we
Where is
should be
it?
repaying
And is
y'all,
that where they taught you
if
it was? And
we would,
who taught you that?
if you
A
think
white
we're
man.
indebted to you,
Yeah,
Carly,
Now,
who what?
you
Yeah,
haven't
so you
done
might
it.
be a
We're
bit
OG,
still
confused.
calm down.
fighting.
Hold up.
And
Go
who
ahead,
told you?
Jayla. She's talking and talking and on that shit. Go ahead, Jay. Mom, my bad.
Yeah, so if you think we should repay you, I think I would assume that means that there was a done job. But it's 2025, and I don't know if you're in America, but in America, women are still actively fucking fighting and protesting for bodily autonomy and rights because we still don't have full autonomy. In America, it only became illegal to put your hands on your wife in 1993, 1995. So what would we be repaying you for? What the fuck did you fight for? I'm confused because we still fighting.
Um, and Carly is actually, it looks like Pacific Islander. Now she lives in New Zealand, which makes sense. And it looks like Carly is a little bit upset because we struck a nerve because she is taking care of the elderly now. So she feels like because she did that, I fear that we must follow in the same footsteps. I guess she was triggered by what I said because that's what I said.
The fact that we got
Um,
a guess is crazy.
yeah, I went to her page. But Carly, you can't be getting triggered by young women on the internet, baby. You gotta go to, talk to that lady and tell them that you angry about having to take care of the elderly and they trick you into thinking that that's what you should do. Like you have to go talk to somebody about that. You really do.
I think she's probably talking on mute because she never stopped talking. I don't know if she knows she's on mute.
Now she making me
Oh,
go
well, that's
because
fine.
she
Go
wasn't
ahead,
letting
Jer.
us talk. Like you on a panel, you can't just talk over everybody. We're not having a conversation at that point. Go ahead, Carly. I sent you an invite.
Yeah, I get that that's your mom, but still, your
Yeah, if you
siblings
just
probably not
touch me.
helping you,
See
babe.
how you're touching?
Yeah, it still says the same. Just because that's your mom don't mean you don't have resentment for having to stop your life and take care of her. Like,
You've got
and you,
resentment. This whole
yeah,
page is
sure.
about resentment, so you've got the cheek.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. If you talk to any caretaker, they will tell you. Any caretaker who being honest with themselves, like, damn, yeah, I had to miss out on my life, a lot of my life, and that's okay
Hey,
to
my
feel
mum's
that
been
way.
like that all my life.
Okay, Carly. You got
Yeah,
it.
because she forced you to exist. You don't owe your parents for getting in a bed, procreating, and forcing you to exist when you had
You
no
see, we don't
consent.
agree.
You didn't consent to be born. You didn't ask them to have you. So you don't owe them shit. They decided to do that.
Yeah, that mentality there's why the world's fucked.
Also,
That's
so
the
I think
reason
it's
why
kind of
kids are
Fuck the
funny.
dying
I
in
world, they
think
Gaza.
fucked.
You're
I think
wrong.
it's kind of funny that she came up here and proved our entire talking points from beginning to the end about how a lot of the times these women will waste their mothers will put all of this responsibility onto their daughters. Then the daughters will turn around and take care of the mothers and then resent the mothers and then get upset with younger women for not wanting to follow that same exact path, because that's what's happening in real time. We're seeing a real life example in real time. And um
Accountable
I'm sorry, what you say?
is
And obviously she's not happy with the situation. She up here throwed, you know what I'm saying? And she up here throwed off, and it's she's telling other people about how great how we owe it to them. We don't owe them anything. We don't owe the older generation anything. None of us asked to be here. So it's super weird that you came up here to try and little girl us, while simultaneously your mama's still little girl in you, and you like 60,
Told you that mental
maybe
anger
50,
is
60.
crazy. What's up, back to basics?
Hi. I'm older. I'm in my 60s. And I was a caregiver to my mom. And it's an individual preference, but in my life, I felt that I owed my mom. I did. And I did give some of my life to my mom, and I don't regret it at all.
Do you have children?
Yes, I do.
Do you feel
I
like they owe it to you?
um I don't feel like they owe me anything, but because of our relationship and the love that we have for each other, I have no doubt that if something should happen, that my child wouldn't be there. I talk to her every single day, sometimes 4 and 5 times out the day. We just have that bond. Every mother and daughter doesn't have that bond, but I thank God that we have that bond. Yeah.
Do you call her so much to keep yourself relevant, or is it like
I,
an ordinary conversation?
actually, I don't call her. She calls me. I don't call. She calls me. She called me
I'm
early
saying 4 or 5 times a day. That sounds like it's giving borderline enmeshment. Well, I'm saying, why did she calling you? Did she?
we
I'm
talk we
confused.
talk all the time. She's like, "What you doing?" Because she's not in the same state that I'm in, so she calls
Did
me
she
all
have
the time.
friends? Did she have friends, and did she do stuff where she located? Is she like,
Of course, listen.
anxious?
I'm 62. She is in her 40s. Yes, she has friends. Yes, she's highly intelligent. Yes, she has a degree. Exact. Yes,
Is
but
she in a
we are.
relationship?
But we are good. We are good. We're not only we're just good. We're friends like that. You
Real
know,
quick, is she in a relationship?
ma'am. Yes, my daughter is well rounded. She
No, no,
calls
no,
me.
no.
It's
Is she in a
it
relationship? That makes sense.
Yes.
it's kind of crazy that like okay, so like I said, this is what I meant by like Gen X, right? And like younger boomers, but people right now, right? So like women were able of Gen X to have a job and to like save for themselves and have a 401k, a pension, like any type of retirement, right? So instead of preparing like yourself for old age, and they recommend like if you like financially savvy and you're into that, they recommend you at the age of like 55 start investing in like long-term care insurance, which is for like if you can't take care of yourself in your old age, you can have that insurance and a nurse can come into your home with that insurance, or you, if need be, like worst case scenario, you go into a nursing home with that insurance to take care of yourself. um our generation, millennials, we're not gonna have one the protections, right, to take care of up and coming 60, 70, 80 year olds. We're not going to have the protections. We're not going to have the government agencies to give disability or give you money to go in and take it. We're not going to have that, one. Two, life is going to keep getting expensive and they're going to keep paying us less. So again, we're going to be have to be working into older age, and no one's going to have, not a lot of people are going to have the money to just stop everything and take care of your parent. And for people in their right minds who are in their like late 50s, early 60s to be like sound enough to understand that right now and not prepare for that future, I think it's kind of selfish. I
No, it
know
is.
it's it's very selfish
Can I
because
say something to
because
that?
yeah, hold on, let me land. Because you, like, anybody who is not preparing to have somebody, like, obviously, yes, if something happens to my mother, I will be there, like, to check in, but she also has the money and the stuff set aside to hire somebody and when I need to go to work and I need to take care of myself as an adult, because obviously you can't stop your life for 5, 10, 15 years to take care of your parent and not get paid for it. And now I'm in poverty. And if I have kids, my kids are in poverty. And I'm missing a huge chunk of my income. It's just setting us back generations. Like, and for these generations to expect that, because even though you're like, oh, I don't expect it, your voice gave like I expect it. So I'm just gonna say that.
Not
I
even that.
raised my hand too.
Not even at the calling all day when like you should be living your life and I should be living mine is like that. That's something about that is so sinister,
Well,
and
you
it's
know,
like it sounds like an investment for your future, and that's not right.
That's why I raised my hand, Tara, because my parents are in that same age range, and they probably tell people like, "Oh, my daughters call me all the time." What they don't tell people is that if I don't call my mama for a certain amount of days, she'll call the police in my state for a wellness check on me. If I don't talk to her for a couple of days, she'll start talking about how I'm gonna miss out on my inheritance because I'm not being close to my mom. If I don't talk to them for a couple of days, they start talking about how I'm gonna go to hell because I'm not respecting my parents or honoring them. Like, tell the whole thing, because yeah, I do. I used to call my parents every day, sit on the phone with them, and talk to them like everything cool and kosher. Because if I don't, I have to tell them, well, I'm a mom now and I'm living my own life. I can't talk to you every day, because they would gaslight and manipulate me into believing if I'm not calling them, it's something wrong with me, and they calling the police to my house, and they threatening to take away financial support in the future, and threatening to tell people I'm not living life right, and start talking about praying for me and shit. So it could be manipulative as fuck. And yeah, you can be talking to your daughter every day and she can be what you're doing and happy, but what if she don't? What happened then?
But see, also is the guilt, right? Because I know firsthand the guilt be there. It's like, well, I ain't really got nothing to do. You know, it's just me here. You know, I don't really get out too much. But what's going on with y'all? Call me later. Like, I like when you call. Like that. That's that like constant manipulation. There, it's not. Oh, you know, I'm just so entertaining as a person, and our bond is so deep that this person don't want to have their own life, their own experiences away from me. And it's like at the thing, it's like, no, your investment in your child is for your future. You are so clingy because you want to make sure that when something goes wrong, they're going to be there to pick you up. But go ahead, back to basics.
actually, I got a life, a good one too. No, actually, some of that was just absolutely the whole left. It wasn't true. I don't guilt my daughter. I don't gaslight my daughter. My daughter calls me all the time. But I guess is to be honest with you, though.
But
I
do you
guess
let her? Do you let your
no.
daughter
Wait,
know?
wait, hold
Hold
on.
on,
Let
real
me
quick. No,
finish.
I'm gonna ask you a question.
Before you gonna cut me
No,
off.
before you move from that, do you let your daughter know it's okay that she don't have to call you all the time and that you're okay?
My daughter's 45 years old.
So no. All right, go ahead.
Listen, I have a husband. I am married. I have a life. But no, actually, I think our relationship is like that because I when I was 26, I actually moved my mom into my home with me because she was a single parent. And because we had all had that relationship like that, I guess it kind of passed on to my daughter. But yes, my daughter has a wonderful life, and my daughter does very well. And she
Are
calls
your
me.
husband prepared to take care of
Wait,
you when you
but
get older?
why you always cut me off?
Cause you full of shit, ma'am. Are you prepared for
Okay,
your husband to take
well,
care of you when you get
all
older?
right, ma'am. Okay.
I mean, everybody here know you full of shit. Like, there's not no. Oh, I want my mommy in the house and she want to be like my. No, you're pushing it, and you know you are.
Remember what I said earlier about the retirement plans?
Hmm.
That's that's a
That's what I'm saying.
retirement plan.
All that constant 4 times a day. 4 times a day is a lot. And as a parent, you should draw the line. You should be like, I'm good. You don't have to keep checking on me. Like we can talk. Like you should draw the line, but you're not. And act like it's just an innocent thing. Like she just want to talk to me so much. She in her 40s, so she working. She just want to talk to me so much. She in her 40s, so she working. She got a husband. She probably got children. She got her friends, but yet she got time to call you 4 and 5 times a day.
Which
It's
also which also means, Tara, that she probably
day.
which
It's
also which also means, Tara, that her daughter probably doesn't have a community of friends. Like
Mhm.
she got the husband, she got the kids, and then she's on the phone with her mama 4 to 5 times a day.
4 to 5 times a day, East. Please.
I
You know
agree.
damn well.
I
Four to
agree.
five times a day with a husband and kids. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. 4 to 5 times a day. Like a
Notice,
text, she's
but,
exaggerating. Maybe
but
once a
notice
day, I'll
how.
believe.
Well, hold up. But notice how instead of her saying that's the relationship they had, she kept going back to saying, "Oh, but this what I did for my mother, and this what she saw me do this for my mother." Like, come
I'm
on
gonna say
now.
I believe her. I'm about to play devil's advocate because if she got handed down the exact same mindset that she has, and the mindset is you stay home, your husband going in these streets, you need to stay home and be in here baking cookies with me virtually. That's what you're gonna do. You talk to me. And someone can't isolate you. It's not just men that isolate. Your mother can isolate you and she can take over your time. She can call you as soon as you get off work. Call me again before you go to bed. Girl, let me tell you about this. And she can take up your time too. Especially if you guys have these old ass traditional views where family is everything and you lonely because he ain't there. It happens. Trust and believe.
Also,
And but,
men love when the only person you got to talk to is their mama.
but
Is your
no, not
mama.
just. But here's the thing: not just the men. That's that. It's a good man, Savannah Mama. She
Yeah,
don't want you to do that
yes.
either.
Yes, those are the mamas that's gonna keep you in them type of relationships. But that's why I was gonna say men love when your only friend is your mama. It's like a lot of times from what I've seen, the mom and the husband they start working in tangent together to keep
Hmm.
that woman isolated. And I've noticed that a lot. And this is why like you'll see in those like Indian cultures, those Southeast Asian cultures and stuff like that, like the mom is expected to be able to pick out your husband, or the parents are supposed to approve of your husband because they know that they're going to go from their controlling hands to his controlling hands, and then they get to then again retire. A lot of these parents, they're raising their retirement plans. That's really what it is. That's why they be like, well, who's gonna take care of you when you get older? I'm gonna take care of myself. I'm gonna have me a 39 a 40-year-old male nurse with big muscles, big arms. Like that's who's gonna take care of me is Antonio. Like the fuck.
Now you got a name.
I know. I know.
Her
Antonio
daughter
is wild,
probably is.
East.
Her daughter probably is calling her 4 times a day, which is even crazier. Because like I'm telling y'all, like my mom made it to a point where I would call her before I go to work, call her as soon as I get off work, call
She
her when
didn't
my
want
kids go to
you.
bed. But it's like if I didn't do these things, you're doing any type of action, she would guilt me like, don't nobody talk to me. I just be by myself. Like so now I feel bad. I'm like, damn, she is a lonely ass, motherfucker. Let me just see if she good. She got health issues. my dad be doing the same shit. You know, I could have died the other week. Like, whoa, okay, I'll check on you. But then when you realize, like, wait, this is controlling as hell. I don't have no time for myself because I gotta constantly check in with you. So it's possible her daughter is calling 4 times a day. But what I wanted to highlight is how dangerous. Please don't get on me, y'all. Please, if you Gen X, please don't attack me. How dangerous Gen X actually is, because I don't know what the fuck they was raised on. I'm young as hell, but I see it with the Gen X moms, like a common theme of, and not even just to make this only personal, but telling their daughters like a man who was harmful towards them, he probably do love you. I mean, he paid the bills. He probably just don't know how to show love yet. My mama told me that after somebody knocked me upside my head. He probably just hasn't learned yet. And it's like, I didn't realize that was misogyny as a kid. I thought, she just telling me this because she grew up and she thought it was okay. But in reality, the appeal to put you up under the next man so she no longer has to be responsible for her child so that she can move on with her life, and then isolating you while you in that type of situation with a man is dangerous. And I see mostly that type of parenting from the Gen X moms. Like, that shit's dangerous as fuck. You should never be putting your daughters, and they would kick us out at 17, 18. And of course, we run into the hands of people who got shit going on. So we either couch surfing with our friends or go into a relationship that ends up being toxic because they're pushing us out the nest early while they son is sitting at the house till they 30. Like, that type of parenting is dangerous as fuck, bro. To women especially. But now that I'm older, I'm like, okay, that's misogynistic as fuck to put your son on a pedestal and have your daughter struggling just because you can.
My mom kicked my older sister out the house when she turned 19, and then she did it for the most part by herself. And when she
She
fell out
didn't
with
get
her,
you out?
well, uh, no, she didn't have to kick me out because I didn't cause any trouble in my household. Um, I think
You know
for the
that's some
most
bullshit.
Right. The way you be going ham, you no.
No, the
no
shit you
no see
said.
the
No, hold up. Wasn't you in the? Didn't you get locked up when you was younger?
yeah.
But you wasn't causing no trouble.
Did your
Well,
sister get locked up?
I wasn't causing any trouble in my household.
Tell me
I was
30. Did your sister get locked up?
No, she never got locked up.
Okay.
That's cool.
That's all I needed to know.
No, she never been in jail. Actually,
Triangulation. That go to triangulation there too, because here
well,
you gonna come out. Hold up. You like, oh, she was causing trouble, so it made sense that she left. That's crazy.
I said causing trouble in the household. Everything I did in the streets ain't come back home.
Everything
But
you do in the streets come back home. If your mama had to write you, bond you out, you ain't finna call nobody but your mama
I
every
ain't
time
never,
you got
I never brought any trouble home. Everything I
use a lie. Like, I don't
No, I'm
believe
dead
that.
ass
Only
serious.
because you like when dudes get locked up, the first person that they call is their mama. And hold on,
Actually,
30. I wanted to ask something before you go off on your crazy horse. I wanted to say that I think sometimes for a long time, like the relationship that I had with my mom, it wasn't always like this because for a long time I blamed her for being pushed into that relationship with that demonic evil piece of crap. You know what I mean? Like I was none but 19 and he was 29. And like I going from your mama house to being in a man house, it is one of the most dangerous things in the world. And I always felt like it was like she was like kind of encouraged me. She never like told me like, oh, maybe that's not a good idea. Maybe y'all could be together without him having to live with you. But I just understood that, at the time, like it was that mother daughter, I don't want to say jealousy, but it was that mother, it was just her not being able to deal with me like going into womanhood, and she just didn't want me there anymore. And for a long time I did blame her for being in that abusive relationship because I felt like you knew what he was about to do to me, you should have known. But a lot of the times I think that, like I said, these mothers be pushing their daughters into these relationships because they don't want to take care of their daughters anymore. They don't want to take care of their daughters. And then also too, they are looking for the daughters to get married, have babies, get settled down. And the reason why I keep saying it is because I made it is my own personal story, and I do felt like it was kind of like a retirement plan.
Do you ladies believe that at a certain age that women get to smelling themselves and the mama can't handle all of that extra stuff that come in with a girl growing into
So,
adulthood?
so,
No,
so your
that's
mother.
Very
toxic
Hold on,
mom
hold
triggering.
on,
rhetoric.
That's a very triggering
hold on.
phrase for you
So
to say.
your mother hate your sister.
No, she loved my
You
sister. My
hate
Basically,
her
sister actually
too.
no, listen, she loved my sister.
No, no, no,
My sister.
no. No,
Let
no.
me
She don't like
finish.
your
she
sister.
You
doesn't
don't
love
you
your
don't
sister.
No, I'm telling. No, you asked the question. I'm giving you the answer.
mhm.
No, that's not what happened. Your mama don't like your sister, and you could participate in it. You like being the favorite child.
No, I don't.
He
I
just
wasn't a
triggered
favorite.
all of us with one sentence
The
because
the
that's
difference
toxic
between
mom rhetoric.
the
Women do
difference
not get to a certain age of smelling themselves, and now y'all going back and forth because she didn't started her period and she got this, that, and the third. Like that is not what's happening here. Your mom doesn't want to keep your sister in the house. She believes that, and like E said, the retirement plan. Because if she can push her daughter off into a man's hands that will buy her a home and put her into a life with a family, she now has somewhere to go when she's too sick. But her son is perfectly fucking fine no matter where he's at because in her mind, he's gonna be a man of the house.
what the
So that's
difference
why
between
the daughter gets to a smelling herself age. When
Yeah, you're not
women do
better than
smell
your
themselves, they
sister.
well
shower,
well well
nigga.
the, well
No, 30.
the
Let me
difference
tell you this, 30. The fact that you've been locked up and your sister ain't, I'm telling you now, you ain't better than your sister.
I'm
Don't
not.
believe bullshit.
I'm not. But no, and I never said I was.
No, no,
Actually,
no. You talking about her smelling herself. I'm
I
pretty sure
said, did
you
she
smelling
smell? I
your
said,
sister
I asked all of
too.
you ladies that. Do y'all think that's the
No,
reason why?
and I'm telling you what it is. You ain't have to ask that many people. I'm just telling you what it is.
All right. So the difference between my sister and
Is
me
you
is
smelling yourself? Smell your upper lip 30 before you start talking on that girl.
I don't got no boogers in my nose. But the difference between
Talk about your breath. Your upper lip stink because your breath. Duh.
I just popped a mint. The difference between me and my sister is I chose to leave the house and then I chose to come back. See, I left home at 16. I was a runaway. You know what I'm saying? Technically,
Hold up. This ain't hitting the way you think it's hit. You ran away.
yeah, yeah. I ran
Lord.
away. I ran away because I wanted to run the streets, and my mama wasn't going for it, so I left. And then when I finally,
And sis, hold up. You ran away. You out there
mhm.
running the streets, got locked up, and you was allowed to come back.
Yeah, because I wanted to change my life.
And your sister was smelling herself. Are you fucking serious?
Yeah. Oh, I stayed with my cousin. My cousin had his own apartment, and
And I
I
bet
stayed.
you was out
You
there
were welcome
hunching.
back.
And you know
I
what's so crazy is that I bet you was out there hunching. I bet you was doing all kind of stuff
She was
at
getting
that
hunched
crazy.
in.
I didn't
She
bring
See,
was
no
a
babies back though.
troublemaker. It's not about what you did. You were a troublemaker. You wanted to run the streets. You left the home to run the streets. Your sister has never been locked up, yet she could not stay home because all of a sudden, I guess she got musty and she could smell it. But because you came back, it proves to us the reason why your mother got rid of your sister is because she doesn't like her. She
That's not
loves
true.
you though.
That's not true.
You
That's
got
not true.
you got two. You grew up in a two-parent household.
Yeah, yeah.
Where was your father when you were in the streets?
Well, my father tried to keep me out, but I had uh, his influence, right? It only went so far,
No,
and
where was he while you were running the streets?
he was working. But let me finish. So his influence only went so far,
I don't care
right?
about his influence because you ran the streets and got to go back home and your sister got kicked to the fucking curb because apparently she smelled herself. So
But
that's
let me
giving us all we
let
need,
me
okay?
finish, young lady. So, all right, my sister, right?
Nigga, you 5 years older than me talking about young lady. Get the fuck.
All right, so now my sister, right? She has a great relationship with my mom, and actually, my sister and my mom, they actually have a great relationship now, and actually closer than me and my mom is. To be honest with you. So, I believe,
I'm not
right?
surprised. That's how I usually work. 30. That's the whole point.
All right, so I believe
Exactly.
when I
We don't
left.
need the rest of this story. We got the whole picture in 5 seconds.
No, you actually don't. I believe when I left, right? My mom missed me, and once she missed me, and once I got my life together, right, and I got myself together, when he got me a trade, got some under my belt and stuff like
nobody
that.
missed you 30.
You said nobody hates me.
Nobody missed you 30.
Sure.
Mm.
Um, But
Or
I'm
his
telling you,
if
no,
it
nobody missed you.
hold
She's
on.
just
No. I'm gonna say this. If his mother's male centered is coming off, she probably did miss him.
I
She
mean,
probably did
damn,
miss her
I,
baby
Yeah,
over
she missed. No, she
I
missed
can't.
having a man in the house while her husband had to work to pay the bill. She missed having a
Oh, so
man.
I
hello,
can't.
clock it.
So I
Clock
can't.
it, mom.
So I can't have a loving mother. Ain't y'all mamas?
Your mama should love you to an
Okay, all
extent,
right.
not to the detriment of your sister. Your mom should love you to an extent, not to the point that you her new boyfriend because her husband is not fulfilling his duties to her. That's not what your love looks like. That's not
But y'all
what
just
being a
got up here
mom
saying
looks
y'all mama
like.
did the same thing to y'all.
Yeah, they're emotionally incestuous. That's the point.
that's why we know what it is 30.
Okay, I just feel like a
And
lot of
you see he talking about, and this is how you know it was a what is it, emotional incest situation, because essentially you're talking about my sister was smelling herself. So you sitting there and your mother talking shit about your sister, and you like, yep, she sure is.
actually I didn't.
No,
I
you
wasn't
didn't. You
when she
did.
kicked her out. Listen, when she kicked her out, I was already gone. I was already gone. My
How
sister
old was
older
she
than
when she got put out?
me. She was like what, 19?
Mm-mm-mm.
19 years old.
How
This
old
is
were you
but
when you came back?
I came back at 20.
Wow.
That's crazy. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
So but listen, check it out.
No, that's
Right?
sickening. That's not just crazy. That's sick and again, the word of the week, fucking demented. What the hell?
Mhm.
So the thing about it is this
You
though,
know how
right?
vulnerable a 19-year-old is? Like
Listen,
that's
listen though.
insanity. Never in a
Took out
million years.
But
And
listen though.
that's crazy because that's the same age that my mom like was like, "Oh, no, go ahead. Go with that man." Like it's like
I was 17 when I
No, but
got pushed
listen
into the
though.
hands of a
Listen though.
man,
And
but he don't
I
realize
was in juvenile,
that
so I
the
was
reason she
juvenile.
welcomed him back is because the reason she kicked the sister out was because she was taking the anger out on him for wanting to leave.
also too,
Y'all are making a lot of
we not
assumptions.
hold on 30 because you know what, this wasn't even supposed to be your conversation. Just hold on. Also too, a lot of the times is we don't talk about, and I think this will be a good topic, is that we don't talk about how fathers triangulate their daughters against their mothers, and it causes a lot of internalized jealousy from the mother. A lot of the times the father will punish the mother by doting on the daughter and not giving that love. That's an incestuous relationship too. They won't give that love to their daughter, to the mama, and the mama will get jealous and they will take that out on their daughters and end up kicking them out.
Mm. Can we talk
And
about
Oh my
because
how?
her
god, hey,
son
Can
shut
we can
boyfriend
up.
left,
can we talk
because
about
her son
how women
boyfriend left, she was
can we
even
talk?
more angry and put his girlfriend out because they were both in emotionally incestuous relationships with 8 children. So because she was not getting attention anymore because the boyfriend left the house, she was angry at the daughter, put the daughter out. And when the son came back, the boyfriend came back, arms wide fucking open.
Yeah.
But
And they think
what if
that
the daughter?
when they think that if they put their daughter out, they'll finally start getting that attention. They finally will start getting that attention that their husbands wasn't giving them. And that won't work out. So you know what they do? They bring their
Bring
worthless,
the
good
son
for
back.
nothing, bum crumb ass sons. Like
But
the bum crumbs, because I'm stealing
After he
that
done
from
terrorized
but
every
what
other
if the
woman
daughter
he
wanted to
came
move out
into.
though? Y'all never answered that. What if the daughter wanted to move out at 19? She wanted to because she wasn't getting the freedom. She wasn't able to come in. See, that's what my situation was.
But you
My
know what
sister's
though? You
situation
know
was.
what,
That's
30?
She
another
You
wanted to
part of
leave.
it
She
too. Hold
wanted to
up.
leave.
No. But that's another part of it too, because before I flat out tell you you gotta get out, I'm gonna make your life a living hell. So you get the fuck out of here. So what are you talking about? We believe it, because that's how that works.
But I want to know
No,
why.
Your
Tara,
Why?
you
criminal
clocked
ass,
it.
hold
they
up.
start doing
Your
weird
criminal
shit.
ass get to come back though. Your ass out there in the streets doing illegal shit, you get to fucking come back.
Let
That's
me tell you,
crazy.
But this is what I'm
my
talking about. But Dirty's been the one who talk about this 2 parent home. I mean, all I'm gonna say is to come from this 2 parent home that y'all brag about is so good. Single moms ain't shit. Blah blah blah. If y'all had a 2 parent home, y'all
I
would
never
turned
said
out
single
better.
moms want
All
shit,
this,
but
whatever. Anyway, y'all talk about y'all 2 parent home, like this shit is fucking gold.
God,
Running away, and she getting put out and don't want to come back or what have you. Like Tara said, I'm sure that she gonna do anything not to come back. And y'all don't realize what it does to your kids. You make it so damn uncomfortable and so damn horrible to live with them that they're doing anything and everything so they ain't gotta come back to the house. That's fucking crazy. But the boys coming back all the time, anytime. because it's nice and comfy for them there. That shit crazy.
Yeah, because Tara clocked it. My mom used to make it like the hardest thing ever to be around her, to coexist with her. Like, I would tell her, like, we don't have to beef. I'll just get my shit together and leave. But she would just do the weirdest things to make me feel like I gotta get the fuck out of here. She didn't formally kick me out of the next few times. It was like, yeah, you could come back home, but it's the whole time I'm home, she's over my shoulder, constantly trying to, she would triangulate me against my sisters by trying to put one of us on a pedestal, all type of shit, to where it was such a hard time living at home that I said I gotta get the fuck out of here and never come back. Even though she didn't formally kick me out, she did every action she could for me to leave. So your sister choosing to leave home at 19 when you're vulnerable, don't have shit figured out, just getting your life together, just becoming an adult, for you to think that, oh, she left because it was just not working out for her. Yeah, because your mama made that shit a living hell. And you talking about a two-parent household, but everything you mentioned your mama did, and never talking about what your daddy doing, because he's not active. He's just there.
Mhm. What's up, wife mom?
Hey ladies, how y'all doing? Man, it's the triangulation of younger women and older women. Um, y'all have really opened up my eyes to a lot of stuff. I don't feel there's any triangulation in my family with my parent, my mom, and with my daughter, because of course I'm in the middle of them. But I'm listening to some of the older Gen X moms talk about the talking 4 and 5 times a day. And you all saying that if you don't check in, your parents are calling wellness checks on you. I don't do any of that stuff. I mean, why in the world would moms put that on their kids?
Now, wife mom, I'm gonna challenge you though.
Go ahead.
Instead of saying that there is no triangulation in your family, I think the challenge is to look for it
Well,
because
that's
like
what I'm
it
trying to do.
only yeah.
That's what I'm trying to do. Because okay, and I'll tell you, because this is what I'm looking for now. Okay. My daughter, she just graduated from college, right? And she did not come back home. She's living where she went to school, and she's not coming back, which is cool. Um, but she lives on her own. She lives by herself. She's never lived by herself before. And she works nights sometimes. The only thing I want is for her to call me when she gets, not even call, she can text me when she gets home on the nights that she works. And she was like, "But why? I'm just right down." And I'm like, "I just want to make sure you by yourself. I just want to make sure you get home okay." Is that too much? Because I do not want her going no contact on me.
So here's the
And
thing.
hmm,
Okay, right there. You don't want her to
mhm.
go now and contact me. What do you talk about that?
I
What do you
ain't
mean?
talking about retirement to take care of me. I'm
But
just
what do you
because,
mean by that though?
well, I hear a lot of millennials and Gen Zers talk about how the way their parents don't let them breathe, don't let them do nothing, uh, shelter them from all kind of stuff that they knew that was twisted. It caused them a lot of trauma, and they just have to go no contact on their parents because their parents would not take accountability. So,
Man, ma'am, respectfully, it don't have to even be smothering. It don't have to be none of that shit. Sometimes it's just that y'all are low key bigoted. Sometimes y'all have not decentered certain things or deconstructed certain shit, and it would just be a toxic relationship. Like, it don't have to be that you smothering them. It could just be that you might just be fucked up. It don't have to be smothering for you to go no contact.
My only thing is to do something. I with the fear that she would go non contact is concerning.
Because that means you already feel like you fucked up. If you think it's a
well, I
if it's a
think as a single
possibility.
mother, I have had this fear of fucking up shit since I
So
found out
have
she
you had
was
a have
two.
you had an honest conversation with her about that
Oh
instead of
yeah.
it being instead of it being a what I'm saying instead of being a fear that's driving while you doing certain things or while you're not doing certain things, not just a conversation about that, but like, hey, I know some people been cutting their parents off, and like honestly. her being truthful answering this question is based on like if you have a tendency of getting on her or she feel like she don't want to hurt your feelings. The conversation would be, hey, do you feel like there's something a way that like I'm forcing you to not be yourself? I'm not there for you like I need to be. Like honest feedback. A lot of
Yes.
times, some people say they'll have that conversation, but it's like the child don't actually feel comfortable enough to give them the
No,
real answer.
we have the discussions, and she has no problems
Then if
telling
that's the
me
case, why is that a
exactly
fear
how
for
she
you?
feels.
No,
It's a me thing. It's not a her thing. It's
no,
it's a
I
me
get what
thing.
you're saying. Listen to what I'm saying, right?
Hmm.
Nowhere in my mind do I ever think my son would cut me off. Like that's nowhere in my mind I'm ever thinking that. So
Okay.
my question to you is, if y'all have this open, honest relationship, why do you feel like your daughter could possibly go no contact with you? Where's that fear coming from?
I guess I'm gonna have to dig even deeper to see, because like I said, I've always felt that, am I fucking this up
I
with
have
her?
another question for you, wife mom. You have a son too, right?
No, just her.
Okay. I thought you had a son.
Mm-mm. Oh no, oh girl, if I had a son, Lord, I don't even know what. I'm glad I had a girl. I'm gonna just keep it like that. I don't know what that would have been like. Um, but
That's how you
All I
feel
would say
about.
is, if that's all I would say, if that's a fear that you have, it's something, and it is not on your daughter either.
no, I
It's
know
something
it's
you need to
me.
work through on your own.
I know it's me.
Wait, I got to answer in what you just said because you said when she asked if you had a son, the way you expressed that, maybe you should dig into that.
Okay.
If you feel like your outcome would have been way worse if you had a son instead, then I feel like that speaks more to your characteristics than your parenting. And if you say that, oh, my daughter, she never expressed that to me, how are you so confident that you've given her this safe, open space to do so? Maybe some of your actions tell her you're not a safe space to tell you that some of the shit you do is fucked up. That can be a possibility too. So while you're digging deep in that, I feel like the answer you just gave to Tara when she asked if you had a son should be explored. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I
Because if
I
you're a good parent, your outcome shouldn't have mattered on the gender of your child.
And not just that, but having that type of fear can make you like extra clingy and through because like you worrying about her going no contact is not much different than a woman who um fucking daughter calling her all day because she want her to take care of when she older, right? Is this fear. Our relationships aren't supposed to be out of fear. They're supposed to be genuine relationships of us just connecting with each other.
mhm
So
mhm.
like there's that's what I'm saying. Like I know you saying you're gonna think about it, but there's something definitely going on with you where your fears that your daughter will go no contact with you. Cause like honestly, when you love your child, if my child want to go no contact because I did something, I'm gonna respect them and support them through that. So it's something there, and it's on you. Maybe you did something you feel like you need to address or whatever. But like that right there is not healthy.
I agree with you 100%. That's why I'm asking, because I just thought it was just a natural single
Mm-mm.
mom guilt thing. But now I need to go and dig deeper and talk this out with the therapist
Yeah.
and see
Unpopular
what's.
opinion, if you
Mhm.
scared of your kids going no contact, you low key already know you did something fucked up that you feel like they should have probably been no contact with you over it, and you can't understand if they're ever gonna address it or if you have to break it down. That's just my unpopular opinion. I feel like you know that there is a possibility you have done things that harmed your child that she's not talking to you about. You know you've done fucked up things,
Hmm.
and you was a single mom. You probably did fuck up. A lot of parents fuck up. We all scared of fucking up our kids. But in reality, I feel like deep down, you did some fucked up shit and she didn't address it, but you not gonna bring it up and you don't know if the fact that the millennials and Gen Z are starting to go no contact will hit her and she'll join that wave. And so you just kinda on the fence thinking, and that's where that fear comes from. I hate to say it. That's where it comes from.
No, don't be.
Because
I
parents who know that
don't.
they're not doing no shit that could potentially put their kids in no contact, knowing that it starts at the foundation, knowing they're not doing nothing that will put their kids in therapy, they're not really scared of that. They know deep down in themselves that their kids will never go no contact because they gave them the safe space. So yeah, I feel like you deep down you know you fucked up somewhere, and you just need to revisit that with your therapist, and you need to bring it up to your daughter and talk about her emotions on it because you know you fucked up.
It's possible. Nothing's coming to me at this point.
Uh,
Um,
Wife mom, I had a question because I've
Yeah.
been thinking this, and I've been trying to remember if it was you or someone else, and you were just on the panel with us one night. But there was one night, someone on the panel, and I thought it was you, but just please correct me if it's not.
yeah.
Was talking about that they want for their son to have a woman because she's going to support him emotionally, and you want your son to get married so this woman can be there for your son in these ways. Was that you or somebody else?
No, because I don't have a son.
Okay, all right, was somebody else. Okay, just making sure. All right, thank you, babe.
No problem. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna talk to the therapist about this on the next appointment. Um, because I just knew, like I said, I didn't even, like I said, didn't hear about the no contact until I got on TikTok about a year or so ago. And it seems like there was a time when it was like every other video was somebody talking, and it's just like, what could happen? Because nobody ever talked about the whys, and not that they gonna talk about all the whys on the TikTok video, um, why it happened. And I was just like, did I do something that would ever make her want to do that? And I just worry sometimes about it, but I'm definitely gonna talk to the therapist about it for sure. Um,
Wife mom, do you and your
Let's
daughter?
hold up. I'm sorry, my bad. That's valid. That's definitely valid. I hope you talk to the therapist. Y'all, this shit went on for like a whole extra hour. Um, my Lisa, I see you, but damn, people kept wanting to come up. Like good conversation, y'all, but sometimes y'all don't know how to stop talking. And I just like shit. I let y'all get an extra hour today. Shit over now. The conversation over. Um, uh, thank y'all who've been going back and watching my videos on TikTok. I mean on YouTube. I appreciate y'all. Um, my YouTube is Tara.js if you want to go back and watch it in playbacks. You want to listen to the audio in the background or something. Just saying. I do appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all like the videos though. But much appreciation. Thank y'all for everybody who came and supported. Y'all know we back tomorrow.